Hello, hello! How are we today, folks? How are we doing? How are we functioning? How was your Tuesday? Tell me all about it. I want to know. I want to hear. Hello to MM and Seven, both in my chat. I hope y'all are doing well. I'm excited to hear about your tale. You said you're making a tale. What is it about? There is like this. It does this where there's like a singular piece of hair that like doesn't want to. Oh, it's backwards. It's reverse camera. So I'm like trying to. Oh, there it goes. Seven. I knew the one that you sent me first, because you sent me two edits that you made. The one you sent me first was the one that you sent me last week, right? That you were working on? Because I like that song choice. I think that song choice is fire. And the second one looks cool. We love Alistair, so we like any edit you make with him. Also, I hope these edits are popping off, because you put so much effort into them that bitches better be following you. People better be supporting you, because they're cool. And every time you have a new one for me to see on stream, I'm like, I'm all about it. I'm here for it. I love hearing about it. I like hearing about people's activities, about what they do, about their days. My Twitch people, you might also... Oh, it's an animal tail. I spent it wrong. That's okay, MM. What kind of animal tail? And is it is it for furry or therian things? Like, are we talking wolf? Are we talking lion? What kind of animal tail? Because I'm still intrigued. Both are doing fairly good. That's what I like to hear. It said fairly, and my brain went, both are doing Fairly Odd Parents. Fairly Odd Parents. Butch Hartman, I'm the last person Butch Hartman would ever want associated with him. That man is like a fundamentalist Christian. Oh my god, he'd probably hate me talking. But for my Twitch people, you might notice there's a weird Apple TV reward thing happening where you subscribe to get rewards by purchasing or gifting subscriptions while they're live. Ends on August 19th. I want to be very clear. That is not me being sponsored. I have no idea what the fuck that is. I think it's just a Twitch thing that's happening, so it's on every channel that has the ability, like every affiliate channel, I think automatically has that up if you have ads on. Which reminds me, actually, I gotta put our roll ads back on because they weren't going on Monday because I turned them off for our episode premiere on Saturday, which means I'm gonna end up turning them off again next week, but they should be on. But yeah, so I'm not sponsored. That's just a Twitch thing. Just so y'all know, so you're not like, oh, well, if Rachel wants us to use Apple TV, then no. Like, I don't give a shit. Don't worry about none of that. Okay, so by going to ads, turn on. All right, great. And we are up and running. Cool. Uh-huh. Refresh. Okay, I'm gonna refresh my stream too. Alright, dope. Yes, it is for me, and it is a CrossFox search across Fox. It looks really cool. Okay. CrossFox. Whoa. They're so pretty! Oh my goodness! You have good taste. These are beautiful. Oh my gosh. Wow, those are gorgeous. Oh, weird. I think I was a random gifted sub because I have emojis from another channel, but I don't recognize them. That's probably why you were random gifted from somebody, is they were probably doing the weird Apple thing for somebody else's channel, and they just did a bunch, and that's why you got gifted some jazz. I've been gifted, I get that sometimes too, where I get the little notification that's like, you've been gifted to a channel you definitely don't fucking watch. But you know, it's fine. It's fine. It don't matter. But yeah, I just wanted to be very clear on that, because I was like, what the fuck is this? Why is it on my channel? It's on my channel because it's Amazon, so that's why they do that jazz. But I don't care. I'm even gonna dismiss it. I don't need that here. Oh, shit, does it tell me who's watching? even without y'all chatting? Or is this just like a separate thing? I didn't even look. Like, I don't know what these names are. Apparently dismissing it just opened up a whole other file. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, well, it's not important. I know, so pretty. Yeah, those foxes are gorgeous. Good for you. Make a tail. Be a king. We love it. Be a queen. Let's go. Did you see the new Helluva short today? There's a new one? Did a new episode come out? Or is it like a teaser or a preview or something? Hold on. New Helluva Boss episode. Oh, it's a short episode. No, I have not seen it whatsoever. Not seen it at all. That must have been what was going on TikTok. Because I was seeing some clip or something from a Helluva thing, and I was like, that's weird. I don't remember this scene, and I'm pretty sure I'm up to date. That must have been what it was. A short drop today. Okay. Mission Antarctica. Interesting. I played FNAF again, and I got jump scared like 50 times. Oh, I feel that. FNAF is fun. FNAF is one of those things where, like, I think I would be shit at it, just because that's so many things you have to focus on at once. Yeah, as per usual, literally. FNAF has a lot of, like, little baby jump scares and stuff, but they're fun. Holy shit, wait a minute. Also, Seven, what is the Antarctica short about? Is it, like, essential to the plot? Does it have big boy moments? Or is it more of, like, a one-off and it doesn't matter? Also, I'm waiting a minute. You got my attention. I'm waiting a minute. What you need, what you got, what you saying. I'm technically ahead of y'all, so I guess I'm waiting longer than a minute. But that's okay. That's no biggie, I suppose. Never mind. You're gonna wait a minute me? And then, never mind me? Really? Wow. That's cold. That's cold-hearted. Wow. The Antarctica episode is just Imp going to Antarctica and getting attacked by penguins. Oh, okay. So it's no biggie thing. It's kind of like, it's like watching a, like, what is the penguin show called? You know how penguins had their own show after Madagascar because the only characters people liked from Madagascar were the penguins? So it's like a penguins episode. I got you. I love the shirt, by the way. Thanks, MM. So there are 2 shirts, probably 3, that y'all see me wear consistently. Because I'm not somebody who is like, let me spend like millions of dollars on clothes and I'm only ever going to wear something once. No. I wear the same thing over and over. I don't spend money on clothes and shit. So it's the Ganondorf shirt, it's the Jack Skellington Nightmare Before Christmas shirt, and it's the crop top with roses. And those are like the 3 shirts that I wear on stream. And that's kind of it. It's one of those things where, like, I could be wearing other stuff, I guess, but, like, the only other things I wear are, like, sheer. And I feel like we already have weird people who come into the streams and are like, ugh, sexy, and they're annoying. And so I don't need to give them a reason to hop in and like, see a bra, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. But yeah, I kind of only have the same outfits. Now, my chokers and shit, I got a couple of different chokers and chains. The ones on today, you can't see these, but they're smiley faces. That one does technically tighten enough to be a choker, my smiley faces, but it's like, the way that the chain is attached, because it's like a metal choker, it digs a little, because it does not quite sit right. So I try not to wear it too close, because otherwise it kind of digs into my neck. So it's smiley faces. We got smiley faces on today. Girl, same. One shirt, but it has to be oversized. I feel that, MM. Like, don't get me wrong. I love my tummy. I wear crop tops nonstop. But and I would wear them on stream, but it's one of those things of like, do I feel like putting in the energy to dress that way today? You know what I mean? Like, I already gotta put on like clothes and makeup and shit. Like, that's too much. You know what I mean? I got you. I have a song recommendation for you. Send it my way, Seven. What song am I supposed to listen to in the chat? You tell me. And no, because you know that I probably won't listen to it. But you can tell me what it is. Oh, I don't know how, but They Found Me is a band I know of. So I might have heard this. Let me see. From the Gallows. I don't think I've listened to this one. I don't think I've listened to this one, actually. I know I Don't Know How, But They Found Me. What's the song I listened to them? I don't know how, but they found me. I've seen oh, Choke. I like Choke from them. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Choke myself. Yeah, I got you, go. Yeah, Choke, I know. I don't know that one, though. I totally didn't find it through a one-sided radiostatic animatic. I don't know, man. I don't need a truth potion to know that that's a straight-up lie. There's a running bet on what Rachel won't wear as a crop top. Is there? Is there actually? Because there is almost nothing I will not wear as a crop top. I literally have a crop top that is just sheer. So I'm basically not wearing a shirt. It's just a bra with a sheer crop top on top. Like, I think it's mesh, so it's even worse than sheer. Because sheer is one thing, right? It's like, ooh, there's a veil. There's not a good veil, but there's a veil. Mesh is literally nothing. It's like putting big-ass fishnets over your titties. And I've worn that. So I don't know that you could get worse than that. Like, I haven't worn it on stream because, again, we don't need weird people in here. Choke is amazing? Yeah, Choke is good. Choke is good. Have you listened to any Melanie Martinez songs? I've listened to the old ones. Is it Dollhouse? Is it Dollhouse? Is that the name of the song? I've heard that one. That one's good. I don't really listen to music. I appreciate suggestions. And I think you guys are awesome. But I apologize. I don't, listen to or watch suggestions from people. I'll take them. It's just one of those things where, how some neurodivergency or anxiety is the second you tell me to watch it or to listen to it, now my brain doesn't want to. But I like people telling me and giving me suggestions because maybe a month from now, my brain will go, that's weird. I recognize that name, but I don't remember why. And then I'll listen to, and then I'll like it, and then I'll come back to stream, and it'll have worked out. I just can't do it the day y'all give it to me, because then my brain hates it. Can you listen to Mythology? So I don't react to anything, watch videos or listen to music while I'm live. I don't do reaction content, so I won't be able to do it while I'm live, but I can try later. Wait till I bring you a Hello Kitty one. Oh, Hello Kitty is a human. I do like the lore that she is just a human dressed up as a cat because she thinks she's a cat. She's literally a child who wants to be a cat. That's what Hello Kitty is. So I'm down with that lore. It's a little weird. Let's go. I'll wear it. AMVs used to be a great way of discovering music. That is true. That is accurate. We love AMVs and finding music. Poe is watching and trying to catch your hands like a mouse. Poe. 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 Popo is a cat that my sister has. He's a family cat. I love that for him. We love Popo. Demand avoidance, a little bit, Theta. It's not extreme, right? It really only happens for, things that I enjoy. If you ask me to do, a chore or something, I'm like, sure, that doesn't bother me. But, if you're giving me a show, I'm like, you know what I mean? There's Hello Kitty lore. That's some lore to walk in on. Hi, TK. And hi, Theta, by the way. Yeah, believe it or not, there is Hello Kitty lore, and it's crazy. The lore for Hello Kitty is literally that she is a child, and all of her friends are not animals. She is not a cat. She is a little girl, a 6-year-old girl, who thinks and wants to be and pretends to be a cat. That is the lore. So Hello Kitty literally is just a 6-year-old little girl, which is crazy. But, fire in some ways? A little horrific, a little terrifying. I'm kind of down. Girl, I'll have to go. I'll be back. No worries, Eminem. I was about to call you Eminem. No worries, MM. We'll see you later. Oh, my goodness. Theta, TK, how's your day been? How was your Tuesday? How is life? What things are you up to? There is a fur. Speaking of cats, there is a fur. I don't want to touch it because I don't want to smear black everywhere. Oh, I touched it. Oh, well. TK, how is the catnip inn? If y'all didn't see in the Discord, TK's cat boarding space is officially running. It is called the Catnip Inn, which is the cutest name ever. Oh my god, TK. I don't know how you picked that name, but it's adorable. And I hope you're doing well, and I hope the inn is going well, because that's amazing, and it's so cute, and it's so lovely. And I'm so happy for you. Monday was crazy? Oh, what was Monday about? You stopped in a little bit, right? Because you were watching D&D or something? What was Monday like? I want to know. I want to know about crazy. Tell me about crazy. I like crazy. I recently finished Critical Role Downfall. Theta, no spoilers. I'm so excited to watch. I keep seeing... So, I am very bad at avoiding spoilers. I'm on Tumblr, and I keep getting, like, little pieces of, like, people's thoughts on it. So I know, like, little things here and there. Like, I know Laura's playing the Raven Queen. And everybody's a god except for one person, I think. I'm really excited to watch it, because I am currently watching Calamity. And Calamity is... Oh my god. Like, I've never actually gotten to see Brennan DM, like, a full campaign because I only see clips of Dimension 20 stuff. He is, and I mean this in a good way, he is simultaneously amazing and normal, and it really is an inspiration to watch him because he has such an incredible lore and writing this campaign. The mysteries, the uncovering, the story is incredible. And at the same time, I don't think I have heard a man stutter or say the words and or hold on a second or wait more than Brennan Lee Mulligan. And that is a good thing, because it's me being able to see somebody who does this professionally, which is something that I really enjoy and I would love to do professionally, is like be a GM or be a player. It's me being able to see someone who does this as a, like, professionally, does it like as a career, and remember that you don't have to be perfect to be good, to be wanted, to be liked by people when you run campaigns. You don't have to be perfection. Here is this man who's, like, super amazing and is well respected, and yet he's stuttering, he's pausing, he needs time to think, he doesn't remember some of the lore he can't. Makes him personable. Exactly, TK. And that really makes me feel better. And I have so many things that from watching him that I really look up to and I want to implement. Tuesday was my Monday. We had fires yesterday. Lots of last-minute cats rolled in. They're gone now. Oh my gosh, TK. I hope everybody's okay with the fires. That is awful. Oh my gosh. Well, I am glad that some cats are safe at least. And hopefully the people are safe. Everyone's a god but one person? Yeah, Seven. I think the point of the Downfall campaign was for everybody to play a betrayer god. And basically everybody came in and was like, cool, we're gonna be these super powerful characters. And I think one dude, I think it's the new guy at the table, but I might be wrong, basically was like, what would it be like to play the one character that isn't as important and amazing and incredible as everybody else? And I'm like, ooh, I love that choice. Hey gal, what's up? How are you? How was your Tuesday? How have your days been? Tell me something that went on. I want to know. Give me info. It wasn't bad and everyone is okay. Okay. I'm glad, TK, because fires can be scary. And the fact that you got in so many, cats all at once, that had to be terrifying. Especially for the cats getting, shoved real fast into places. Ooh, I'm glad everyone's okay. New guy, do you mean Robbie? No, Theta was saying they finished Downfall. I have not started watching Downfall yet. I think the guy's name is Nick. I've not started watching it yet, so I don't know for sure. I'm still in Calamity. I'm watching Calamity, and I was just gushing over Brendan Lee Mulligan. No, I love Robbie Damon. Don't even get me started on that man. But no. Also, I love Luis Carrazzo. I've only seen him play from the Candela Obscura, and now that I'm watching Calamity, and Brennan is the GM, and Luis is a player, watching their interaction in Calamity, now Candela makes sense. Why their chemistry as players were so good. Because I remember watching Candela and going, these two gay little boys are some of the best role players I've ever seen in my life. They're so intense with each other. And then I'm watching Calamity and I'm like, oh, it started here. It wasn't terrible. I got a promotion. Gal, congratulations. Wait. But you work for the knife scam. How do you get a promotion when you work for a knife scam? I'm a little confused, but also congrats. As Abria said, video games have buffering. You can just look up the lore you need. Yes, Theta, absolutely, God tier. Also, watching Abria as a player, because she did the first EXU, however many years ago, which I finished, and then now I'm watching the Brennan one. Abria as a player is incredible. I love her GM brain as a player, and it also made me feel really good because she does a lot of things in her player mode that I do, and because my player mode is very different from my GM mode, and I always, when I am a player, I always feel like, it's just anxiety, but I always feel like I am not wanted when I am a player because I feel abrasive. I feel like I get so excited and I get so forceful that I'm the person at the table that's ruining everybody else's fun. Whereas as a GM, I feel really good because we're facilitating things, right? And the control aspect that I need is there. But as a player, I always feel really bad. And so I loved watching Abria play. I loved her as a GM, but watching her play, I'm like, oh God, I love her. I love Robbie too. Yes, Robbie Damon. Ugh, I swear to God, if Dorian and Orym don't fucking make out like the little bitches they are, I'm gonna be pissed. Fuck if I know? Oh no, gal. I get a pay raise, but now I gotta deal with my manager more. I am still surprised that you have any form of a manager in a knife scam, but at least you got a pay raise. Hopefully you're at least not being paid minimum wage, because in Pennsylvania, isn't that shit like $7? Oh my God, bro, that shit's wild. She's very adversarial as a GM. Yes, she's very adversarial as a GM, and she's very, very forceful as a player. And like I said, I'm very forceful. And so it's good to see somebody who is so loved and so excellent be in that space where I'm like, I can do that and be okay. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, Rachel, Seven and I have been making lore about the mother and the father. Yo, Seven was telling me some of the lore that you guys were talking about. Okay? It is crazy that you are writing lore for the mother and the father. Because you know what? I love that. And it honestly, we might have to steal your lore in 2025. We might do a religious one-shot where we steal your lore. Because you've already built it. And that's the one-shot we'll do. Because I think a religious one-shot for on stage would be really good. Because we can go, do it, coward! Listen, a year's time, well, it won't be a year's time from now, because now would be too late. But in February, whatever, 2025, we start making plans, you better remind me, because we'll use it. I think a religious one-shot would be cool because we can do it where the climax is in like an old abandoned church and the stained glass windows get blasted out and shatter and light comes pouring in. Oh, I love it. I love it. I want to keep drawing them. Do it. Absolutely do it. Because if I was going to do a religious campaign or a religious one-shot, I think it would be interesting to play with the opposites idea. So normally in horror and stuff, darkness, silence, feeling like somebody is watching you, right? Or whispering beside you, or a breath on you. What if all of those things were flipped on its head for a religious one-shot? The scary things are the blazing beams of light, not the darkness. The colors that come from the stained glass. The loud noises rather than the lack of silence. Like things like that. I think that'd be really cool. I'm getting 22 an hour, yay money, but also boo job. Fair, but 22 an hour is great. Sent you a pic. I'm not getting notifications today. I wonder why. Let's see. Oh, she's gorgeous. Damn. Yeah, that'll have to be our one shot. Remind me in 2025, we will do the religious one shot with y'all. I think that'd be cool. Oh, that said, guys, I have confirmed, and I know we kind of did it on Monday, Campaign 2, Season 2, as I'm calling it, is officially, for those who weren't with us on Monday, Deep Sea Ocean Horror. We wrote a lot of the core plot. Now, of course, it's not really spoilers necessarily because the players haven't given me their backstories, which will be intertwined with the plot. But we wrote the core idea on Monday, and we're gonna if you guys have ideas today, I want them. I want as much as possible as you can give me because I am not well versed in ocean and water and deep sea stuff. Saturday, we're going to be doing an art stream for our activity stream. So drawing, painting, sketching, whatever you want to do. I have a canvas that I'm going to be drawing and painting on. So Saturday's going to be an art stream, but today, any ideas possible you have for this campaign, for creatures, for NPCs. We built our Lightkeeper a teeny tiny bit. We didn't actually describe what she looks like or anything like that. Sound, light, and yet absence. Yeah, Theta! That idea of there's nothing here with you, and yet there's so much with you. Hello, News with Bear. I do use Restream as well. Yeah. How are you? Welcome. We are talking about and working on our TTRPG campaign. We make community-built campaigns here. So our community develops plot, characters, creatures that my actors get to pull from, and then we run campaigns. So we're working on our deep sea horror at the moment. And Angie, as Gal is mentioning, I'm a draw Angie. I won't be here Saturday, but still, that's okay, Gal. You're here right now, and if you have any ideas for Angie, our Lightkeeper, or, guys, anything ocean related, right? We have one of Seven's creatures, which I'm definitely going to use, because Seven's creature is cool as fuck. And we have some other things. We also did not describe Angie, the way she looks. We've not made her personality. We've not made things that she likes. The only thing we know, and it's interesting that we already know this, because it almost feels like you're getting the spoilers handed to you, like you're getting an end plot. But we know that she is our villain, which is kind of weird, but I kind of love it. Is that D&D or something else? Yeah, so News with Bear, we use Darrington Press or Critical Role's Candela Obscura system. So it's similar to D&D in that it's a tabletop game, but it's only a D6, and it is almost solely improv. So there's no character stats, There's no health bars. There's no creature stats. We make everything here in this community. And then I have my players give me characters, and I take the backstory that they've developed, weave it in with the things that we've created in this community, and we put on a show. If you're interested, you're more than welcome to watch the first episode. It's out on my YouTube channel, but don't feel pressured to. You don't need to. The one we're creating right now is not related to that first season at all. The first season is done and accomplished. We're working on season 2. And we do dramatic horror campaigns. Sometimes a little bit of tragedy in there, and there's always a little bit of humor, but we are really focused on scary things. I do a lot of body horror. And for the ocean theme, we've been talking about like a creature that has like a lure that ends up trying to like bring people in, and then it jumps out of the sand with like multiple mouths that open like the Stranger Things Demogorgon and just whoosh and snap people. So that's one of our creatures, which is really cool. And we've created kind of the main villain. Her name is Angie. But the players won't know that she's a bad guy. She's gonna pretend to be on their side. And so I think she should be a tall woman with a 1,000-yard stare, likes lights, and Theta says yes. Okay, let me put this down for Angie. So, a tall woman with a 1,000-yard stare, likes lights. I love that because it's Angie and she's based on an anglerfish. That's why we called her Angie, because she's sort of like got the light that stays with her. Yeah, I'm basing this off the anglerfish. Exactly, gal. And so the main sort of like, for folks who were not with us on Monday, the basic main plot that we've created is that all of my players were sent to the bottom of the ocean to protect / research / be engineers or mechanics to the lighthouse, which in this world, a lighthouse is basically a giant lock that keeps the evil magical world from entering our world. So this group of players was sent down to the bottom of the ocean, no way to return, to protect and maintain that lock so nothing could get out. However, they've been left down there for way longer, years past when they were supposed to be rescued and brought back up. Their only contact on land is Angie, who they don't know is the villain. Angie, what they won't know, is actually an evil magical creature locked in this seal, trying to get this circle to break it open and to mistrust each other and get her out into the real world to wreak havoc. That is currently our plot. If she has a 1,000-yard stare, that would make them instantly suspicious. You raise a good point, News, actually. You do raise a good point. Okay, you know what? You're right, News. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little note on 1,000-yard stare, and I'm going to put this only comes out when she's starting to get revealed. So, like, once the players start to catch on that there is something wrong, then little bits like the 1,000-yard stare start to get put into her character. Ooh, that's cool. I like that idea. Likes lights. Okay. She's got to have a little bit of an underbite. Oh, that's cute. We'll add that to the 1,000-yard stare thing. So 1,000-yard stare comes out. The underbite starts to come out. She almost starts like the closer that the players get to unlocking her cage, whether they realize it or not, she starts to sort of morph into the actual demonic creature that she is. Yeah, that's cool. So, 1,000-yard stare, underbite. Okay. That's okay, News. It's totally fine. It's no worries. I know voice to text can sometimes fuck everything up, so it's totally fine. If I may offer further suggestions, we were discussing the possibility of Angie being an alchemical experiment. Perhaps she is a kind of illusory artificial intelligence. Ooh, Theta, you want to throw in like AI. Okay, I'll consider it. I'm not going to say yes or no because I want there to be a teeny bit of mystery on what she actually is for you guys too. But I will add it to our list of possibilities for her. So I do like the idea that she might be a magical experiment that got sealed down there versus just something that existed, was born, and once out, right? I am possibly interested in the idea that she was like forced, like, you know, whether it had to be on purpose, right? But whether they were like, we've created something evil and horrific, we need to seal it at the bottom of the ocean so that no one ever finds it, and 100 years later in the age that we are in with our players, right? That might be a cool concept. I like that idea. So possibly an experimentation. I'll put alchemical. Alchemical experimentation. Oh, experiment, duh. Possibly an alchemical experiment where the people who created her sealed her away at the bottom of the ocean to hopefully, although it's not the case, never be found again. Never be found or released from her prison. Ooh, that could be cool. That could be really cool, actually. Interesting. I wonder why they sealed her away then. If we end up going with the idea that they were doing a bunch of magical, like, you know how there's the plot line of people who use magic or mad scientists become arrogant, right? They're like, well, I can do anything. So they're messing around with things maybe they don't fully understand or they shouldn't be tampering with, and they create Angie. I wonder why. Like, what happened? What did they see? What did they feel? What did they hear that made them decide Angie has to be locked away forever? She cannot be allowed to roam free. What happened? I think it would be fun if she repeats stories of her victims to make her seem more human-y. Ooh, like when they ask her about herself, she's using like ideas that of like victims or something. Or if it's a Frankenstein scenario of the people, like the memories of the bodies of people who were used to be sacrificed in a ritual to create her. Right? That would be cool. So maybe she uses memories or history of people she's either that are either her victims or were used to make her, something like that. Sketching EP Bobby, I'm glad, Seven. We want to see art of all of it. Was lurking. Angie is who? So, lead character in next season, kind of TK. TK, I'm gonna warn you for a second. It's a bit of a BBEG. Yeah, I was gonna say it's a bit of a spoiler. Angie is their light keeper, and unbeknownst to them, is also the BBEG. So she is. We're running with the idea that she is an experiment, like 100-something years ago when the first Old Fair collapsed and the sea split in half. She is an experiment from that time period, and those alchemists sealed her away at the bottom of the ocean in the lighthouse that our players are stuck at. So that's what we're working with, and she's faking being a good guy with Candela on the land in order to get those players to, unbeknownst to them, release her from the present. Hey, MM, glad to see you back. Hold on, guys. Let me scroll up because I'm getting a little behind in chat here. I want to make sure I read everybody's stuff. Okay. Let's see. Oh, shoot. It's not letting me scroll. Okay, let me go to Twitch and scroll up that way. Okay. A Spinel situation? I don't know Spinel. Can you tell me what that is, gal? Okay, here we go. I see. Here we go. I'm also reminded of an episode of the new Batman Adventures where Clayface breaks off a piece of himself in the form of a little girl as a distraction, but the little girl develops sentience. Oh, that's terrifying. If the things that she, like, was made into her become their own sentient creations? Ooh. Like she was left by her creator after years of waiting, and she becomes bitter and now wants out. Ooh, I could see that too. I like that. Yes, MM, we'll give you an update in 1 second. What if they were trying to make a superior new breed of super soldiers, but it went wrong and they couldn't control it, so they locked it away? Ooh, news, I like that idea too, because we have to think of what were the alchemists trying to do? They created Angie, and then why did they lock her away? Super soldiers isn't a bad idea. I really like the idea, news, that regardless of what they were trying to make, they couldn't control her. Whether they realized she had full sentience and they didn't plan for her to have sentience, or whether she becomes aware of things, I like this idea that they couldn't control her. So alchemists realize they couldn't control her and sealed her away. Possibly super soldier. I think it would be cool later on in the campaign, like she accidentally shared one of the players' stories almost word for word back to them. Ooh, maybe she accidentally tells a player's past back to them, not realizing that it was their story first and not hers. That's cool. I like that idea. Oh, the members are actually like golems. Kind of. I am giving them, so there are only a few requirements that I gave to my players, and I'll tell you guys the requirements so that you know what they're dealing with. Otherwise, they have free range. Because she was lonely. Yeah, oh, she's definitely lonely. Actually, TK, that's a good point. Angie is like super lonely and also super bitter. I could see her plot maybe being revenge. Maybe. Because if I got locked away, I might want to be revengey. Maybe revenge. So, MM, for your update, and for anyone who's popping in and out, no worries, by the way, do what you gotta do. Basically, we, right now, are working on the main villain of this season. She is an experiment that went awry and got sealed away for at least 100, possibly longer years. And she's trying to get our players to release her from the prison, but they don't know that she's trying to do that. They don't know she's the bad guy. They think she's the good guy. I'm trying to figure out how the members got to the bottom of the ocean. So TK, I do have a bit of a plot there. Let me give you guys that plot. It kind of fits with the fall of the old world. Ooh, it does, news. Actually, I like that. Fall of the old world. Fall of the old world. Yeah, it does fit with that. So let me give you guys the summary that I wrote up and gave to my players so we know a little bit of what we're dealing with here. So this is the summary to my players. So for reference for folks who might not know some of the terminology, a circle just means the group of players, and a lighthouse is that lock, that seal, that is keeping Angie, our villain, away from the modern world. She's locked away in the world of magic. New Fair is the city. Lightkeeper is usually the term for the person who is in charge of the group of players. In this case, the person in charge is Angie, but Angie's not actually there. They only communicate with Angie through like radio waves because she's supposed to be on land. That's kind of how she's manipulating them. So here is the backstory. Here's what I told my players. Your circle or your group is an active defense, research, maintenance, etc. crew for a lighthouse located underneath the sea on the ocean floor. You were sent down at least 5 years ago as a group by Candela. Candela is the organization that deals with magic. You have one contact topside or on land in New Fair. That's the city. Your lightkeeper, Angie. She has always been your only point of contact to the outside world this entire expedition. You are isolated down here. You cannot return to the surface without assistance, and you have not returned since you were originally sent down. You have been down here longer than you were supposed to be. The original mission was only for a single year. They've been down here for 5. There have been plenty of reasons given through Angie by Candela, the organization they work for. Things such as, you've done so well that we want to extend the program. The war has made it too dangerous to bring you back to the surface. We don't have the resources or the manpower to safely extract you, etc. They are required to build into their characters 3 things. 1, they must have left something or someone behind on land. 2, they must have a reason for wanting to return to the surface. And 3, specifically for me and for y'all to mess with, they must have a fear and a want. What is the worst thing that could happen to them? What is the best thing that could happen? Those are their only requirements, and that is the background that they were given. So that is the background we are running with as well. It's kind of giving me Other Mother vibes, like at the end where she screams, "Don't leave me." Ooh, gal, I like that inspiration. Other Mother vibes. That's cool. I initially intended that in the sense that Angie, as a detached portion of some other being, has her own consciousness and is genuinely good until the rest of her draws near. Then the 1,000-yard stare. Okay, that's an option, Theta. So one of our options is possibly Angie, or let's say possibly there are multiple maybe beings or consciousness. I have no idea how to spell that. Consciousness. And as the magical side grows closer, she becomes less human, maybe. That's a possibility. What if the lighthouse was the containment thing they dropped in the bottom of the ocean? That makes sense. Plot twist, Angie is the lighthouse, and the players are talking to her lure. Monster House style. Ooh, that's an option, guys. So, okay, so an option could be possibly Angie is the lighthouse, and the lure is the being or the voice they talk to that they believe is on land. Ooh. This is going to be great. I love it. I'm very excited, TK. Do we pick or do they pick the reasons? So my players are allowed to choose their reasons for going down originally. They are allowed to choose what they left behind and why they want back. And they are allowed to choose their fears and their wants. So that is all their decision. You guys will possibly get told a little bit once I have it solidified from them, but those are their choices. We get to play with everything else. So we get to create other monsters that they can fight in this ocean. We get to create other horrors. So if we want to do a Man of Medan, I think it is, style thing where they're seeing or hearing hallucinations, maybe Angie has some sort of the ability to cause them to think that they hear other players saying bad things about them or planning bad things. And so it creates conflict where they're like, well, I heard you say it, but it wasn't the other player, right? So things like that we get to create. We can create anything, basically anything else, literally anything else. This is severely off topic, but I think an octopus creature would be fun. I'll add it to our creature list. Octopus creature. There. It's on our creature list. Maybe she's been down there so long that she has split into different entities, and one actually does want to help the members escape. Split because the experimentation gap gave her multiple personalities. Ooh. So maybe she has actually split into multiple entities, and one does want to help the players escape. That's a cool idea, because if pieces of her have split off, then it really would confuse the players, because some players would be interacting with the true Angie, who genuinely is trying to help them, but then at other times they're interacting with an Angie who is clearly like lying or being deceitful. That would be really interesting. What if the lighthouse is her cage, and the goal is to keep it fixed where she's not trapped in it forever until she can figure out a way to get out? Ooh, news. I actually really like the idea that the lighthouse is the cage. Lighthouse is the cage, ? Because I like the idea that it's not just as simple as the lighthouse is a lock, but it literally is the cage. Like Monster House energy, people were saying, where and it would give her full control over the lighthouse. If this is her cage, she controls the noises, the sights, the sounds, the feelings, the banging on the walls. I like that idea, news. I think that's really cool. And like it's breaking and it's cracking. Wait, guys. Oh my gosh, wait, news gave us this development. Guys, if the lighthouse is the cage and she is trying to break free, then the thing that could be, because remember from Monday's stream, we were talking about what is the urgency. The players are stuck down here. As far as they're concerned, as much as the players want to go back to land, they can't. There is nothing they can do. So what is the urgency for them trying to get out? What if the urgency is that the lighthouse is cracking? It's breaking. It's deteriorating, because this is Angie's cage, and she's getting more and more powerful of trying to break it. And so the reason that this group of people, our players, are so frantic about, like, we have to figure something out, we have to get up there, what are we supposed to do, we have to do this, is because if this lighthouse is the only place at the bottom of this ocean that they can live in. Everything else is water. This lighthouse is oxygen. It doesn't have water. There's some sort of magical barrier that keeps it the only thing in the bottom of this ocean that they can live and be inside and be safe in. But once this thing breaks, they're goners. Oh, guys, I love this. Okay, so I'm gonna put, you guys, these are excellent ideas. Thank you. Lighthouse is cracking due to Angie pushing and trying to get free. The players are urgently trying to figure out how to escape, because if the lighthouse If the lighthouse goes, they are goners. Perhaps Angie, the one that wants them to escape can actually hitchhike home if they do escape. Yeah, absolutely, TK. Perhaps Angie is some kind of old fair arcane security system for the lighthouse, and she perhaps feels it's unjust that she is imprisoned with the horrors of the deep, or views the players as invaders. Ooh, Theta, that is very smart home territory. So I'm going to put maybe she views players as invaders, or maybe she's upset that she was trapped with everything, etc. Okay. I love this. This is cool, guys. This is so cool. Angie is bitch's mom, and she's gonna Finding Nemo that. Don't touch the butt, Nemo. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's way better. News, you gave me the idea. This is why I love building a community campaign, because you guys are the ones who just created that. You gave me an idea and I went, oh, right? And we bounce off of each other, and that is so cool. The security system idea sounds like Resident Evil. It does a little bit, doesn't it? IDK, what's happening? That's okay. This lifestyle is fun and we're talking about peanut butter, ice cream, whatever obsession. That's okay, MM. It's no worries. You're welcome to bounce to whatever stream suits your needs. Don't worry about it. We're gonna keep building. Side missions can be fixing the lighthouse, and Angie's pissed that they keep fixing things. I like that idea. Side missions are them fixing the lighthouse, and Angie is upset they keep, how do I spell words? They keep fixing things. I got you. Send me a pic? Okay, gal, I'll look at the picture. Let's see what the picture is. Whoa, that's so cool! Gal sent me a picture of a horrifying sea creature that could be the inspiration for one of our monsters. Yeah, anything you guys got for monsters or horrors, I can do a lot of the psychological horror. That stuff I've got an idea of. I've got a concept of isolation. I've got a concept of pressure. Because now that we have the idea that the lighthouse is cracking, the idea of pressure slowly coming in to burst and implode on them, that's something I can play with. It's more of the physical creatures that I'm like, I don't know what is scary creature-wise because I am not afraid of creatures. PD in the house to say good tidings. Hi, PD. Good tidings to you, PD. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Also, Angie, your job is to do what you're told. It's dangerous out there. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Well, thank you, old man. That is really very nice. But I've never seen a sword quite that shape or size. I mean, we've got the Ganondorf shirt on. We can do the Zelda rap. Oh, wait, that's not a sword. That's your rinky dick in disguise. I love Starbomb. Going back to Octopus, suction is horrifying. Oh, okay, that's a good note. That's actually a really good note. So suction, pressure, isolation, loneliness, hallucinations, both sight and sound. We got those. Because I want them turning on each other. I genuinely do. Love Dorvat. Also getting ripped in two. That's a good one. Getting ripped in half. We also talked about boiling. Like if the water's boiling. So boiling alive. Like in the water. What were they? Volcanoes? Water volcanoes? Boiling alive, water volcanoes. Does that have an E? Sure. Drowning, of course, is in there. What else could be something that is, like, creaturely horrific? I know we talked about the rows of teeth or the whale teeth, but instead of teeth, they're fingers. That was cool. What if one of the players players is trying to fix What, Rachel? What if one of the players is trying to fix shit and a piece falls on them so they're trapped? Ooh, getting trapped. Getting trapped. That's definitely a good idea. Getting trapped by building or rocks or icebergs or caves. I like that. That's a good one. What if monsters are the manifestation of her twisted mind? Ooh, news. That's interesting. Also, I think Leviathans or Cthulhu or a crossbreed would be pretty cool. I know Cthulhu. Let me look up Leviathans. I've heard the name, but I don't remember what they look like. Leviathan. Oh, yeah. Ooh, okay, I'll write that down. That sounds cool. Leviathan / Cthulhu cross creature. Ooh, that's cool. And monsters. Okay, and we gotta do the monsters thing for Andy. Monsters are manifestation of her twisted mind. Ooh. Hi, Dadley. Welcome. Dadley, we are working on creating things for our season 2 of our Candela Community Candela Obscura campaign. So we have agreed upon a basic plot. We are working on our main villain, and we have also determined that the theme is deep sea or ocean. So if you have anything that you think is scary about the ocean or the deep sea or underwater, let me know. I'll throw it in. And I hope you're doing well and that you're having a good day. There is a really cool one. There's a point where you can go so deep that the water pressure is so heavy on top where now you can only sink. I didn't know that. Okay, let me make that note. There is a point where you can no longer float because water pressure is so strong that it makes you sink, like a reverse gravity. That's cool. Angie, I'm just here to keep people safe. It's ambiguous whether she means keeping the players safe or keeping people safe from the players. Oh, that's interesting, Theta. I like that. What if the monsters are other monsters, like lesser monsters that were also experiments and Angie is the leader? Okay, so we have a possibility where maybe monsters are a manifestation from her mind. Maybe monsters are lesser experimentations and she's in charge or controls them. I think both of those are good, cool ideas. Just had a thought about the Cthulhu-Leviathan combo. Anytime the members get too close to figuring out the truth, they attack the exterior. She controls them. Ooh. So, like, maybe mind manipulation or control if they get too close to figuring out the truth. Ooh. Anything from Subnautica. Ooh, that's a good point, Dadley. I haven't played that game, but I've been told that it's got a lot of good ideas for, like, horror in the depths. Learning about water pressure would be really cool. Yeah, I'm going to put that in my research section. I think playing with water pressure would be cool. Water pressure, look into. I'm looking at Subnautica right now. I love that gal. What if she was drowning underwater and there was seaweed and plants grabbing at her limbs so she couldn't get up? That's a great idea. I like that a lot. It's sort of coming out of the sea floor and like wrapping around and maybe almost like quicksand trying to pull them into the sand. That's cool. Hive mind seaweed. I like this. Okay, so seaweed, and plants grabbing at her limbs so they are drowning, and can't get up and could be taken into the sand like quicksand. That's cool. This is going to be sea madness no matter how it plays out. It's true, TK. I think we're going to end up with sea madness. And I'm really excited about it because y'all know, like, I'll be honest, when you guys first were like, ooh, ocean horror, I was like, oh, I don't know what I would do. But now that we're building it, I really like where this is going. And I'm really invested. And I'm so excited, like, genuinely. I have so many ideas, and I am going to make them cry and be so scared. The amount of horrifying Final Destination level descriptions I am going to give. Oh, so excited. All I can think of is Ursula's little weather dudes at the entrance of her cave. They're cool. They're funny. I like them. Mermaids that lure in prey with soothing music, only to kill them when they get close. Ooh, Dadly. Yeah, like sirens. That's a good idea. So, mermaids or sirens that lure in with music. Oh, hiccups are here. Only to kill them when they get close. Only to kill them when they get close. Maybe, Dadly, maybe it's not just luring in with music. If we go the hallucination route, what if they appear as the other players? To try and get them to be like, you see your friend struggling against a door. But it's not their friend. It's like luring them into a trap. Ooh, so maybe music and appearance. With music or changing appearance. That would be cool. What if she started to rot in the water? Ooh, good idea, good idea. Rotting in the water. And maybe like dying or decaying. That's cool. I don't remember the name, but there is a fish in real life that's next to invisible, completely transparent. Really? Yo, I had no idea. I really don't know anything about the ocean. I'm going to put that down. So there are fish, which means that we could make creatures. So I'm going to put parentheses creatures that are so translucent that they are basically invisible. Ooh, I love that. That's cool. Another cool creature to make a monster of are crabs and lobsters. They can survive pressure and heat. Oh, really? Okay, all right, so crabs, lobsters can survive pressure and heat. Could make creatures with this idea in mind. That's cool. I like that. I like that. Oh, I'm trying to spell things correctly, and it is not happy with how I'm spelling. Please watch Man of Medan playthroughs. Oh, gal, I've seen it. I have seen all of the Dark Anthology games. I'm a big Until Dawn fan. I am a big fan of, like, all that kind of jazz. I've seen it. I've watched Man of Medan. That is kind of, if we had to pick, like, this is the vibe, this is the feeling we're going for, it's Man of Medan. I'm not going to use their plot, and frankly, that game is probably the worst in the series. So we won't be using a lot of what they do, but the vibe of you can't trust the people around you and you are trapped underwater, that's the vibe we're going for. Oh, creatures like Ripjaws from Ben 10. Ooh, I don't know if I know that one. Let me look that up. Ripjaws, Ben 10. Ooh, yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, I'll put that down here as like an influence source. creature like Ripjaw, Ben 10. If they're translucent, you can make a ghost town underwater. Oh, that's fun. Ghost town underwater with translucent idea. What if her blood turned into water and then she started to suffocate in her own body? Ooh, okay, so blood into water and then starts like, I don't know if suffocate is the word, but I'm going to use that. Starts in own body. That's the word I was looking for. No worry, News. I understand what you meant. Oh, you meant transparent versus translucent. I understand they're different words, but like, for as much as I love English, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to worry about it. Also, it's dark as fuck. Players will only be able to see as far as their flashlights. So, we're going to talk about that in a second because that's something we have to talk about. Rotting underwater could cause the blood to turn black. Ooh, that's a good idea adding on that too. Rotting in water could cause the blood to turn black. I like that. People love black ichor. In Candela, everyone loves black ichor. Every GM I have seen be a game master for this game uses black ichor. It's so funny. Okay, so to Gal's comment of see as far as their flashlights. I agree that I think it should be really, really dark. Super, like, unseeable darkness. I like that. Ooh, sunken ship with ghost pirates is a good idea, too. Sunken ship, ghost pirates. To that point of it being super dark where you can't see. In the era, the years that we play in, electricity has just been invented. Like, literally maybe a year ago. And it was invented in order to make an atomic bomb. So it's only barely coming into the city to be used with lanterns or street lights. So flashlights, they technically wouldn't have. We maybe could argue they might have an electric headlamp that we could argue with. However, maybe only enough power for one illuminated place at a time. So, this is what I was going to argue. The power of glow sticks. They all have glow sticks. So, we have two options here. When it comes to light, I have two ideas. One, they're in a lighthouse. So the big old light, now our lighthouse is upside down, but the big old light on the lighthouse does work. It is in the lore book that says it is continuously lit, and nobody knows why. So that lighthouse would give them enough light to operate maybe 100 feet radius circle around the lighthouse. And then from there, it's deep, dark territory. And that might be part of the reason that they can't go. They can't leave land because they don't know where they're going. Like, they can't get up. It's fully dark, right? Past the lighthouse. Now, when it comes to inside the lighthouse or their own method of light, we could argue something similar to glow sticks, which is that they have, like, uranium or glowing radiation that they are able to use in maybe short form, or one or two people have them on them, but it's kind of like a torch territory where it's just lit around you. That's my idea for the light, if that makes sense. Lanterns for investigators. Whale oil lanterns is a good idea. Let me make a light section, because I do think light is important since we're going to play with darkness. So I'm going to make a light section, and I'm going to put bullet points for all the possible options. So whale oil lanterns, radiation light, and the lighthouse has one big light for outside maybe a 100-foot radius, but no more. I just got another idea. I don't know if you're talking about this. I kind of zoned out. That's okay. But what if she hated the dark and she was trapped inside of this dark, haunted part of the sea? That's not a bad idea, MM. And maybe that's why her cage has a big light on it, right? So maybe afraid of dark and trapped in this big, dark part of the ocean. Waterproof fire lanterns. Wait, if they get to a certain depth, the pressure builds and the glass cracks for hopelessness. That's not a bad idea. Hey, Kingslayer, welcome. I'm glad to see you. How have your days been? Watch the movie The Lighthouse for inspiration. I'm gonna have to. I did not know that was a movie, but I'm gonna have to watch it now. Oh my gosh. Uranium fever. That's true, uranium fever. There is algae that could glow in the dark when disturbed. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna put that under light options. Algae that could glow in the dark when disturbed. I like that. Angie's fear could be the dark, another motive for keeping members trapped. Angie's mind, or part of it, is that she's still young in spirit. Yeah, what MM was saying, right, is like maybe Angie is afraid of the dark. And as TK said, maybe that's one of the reasons she keeps the players trapped. That's not a bad idea. Oh, the algae is an actual thing. It glows blue. Oh, let me put a note here. Actual thing, it glows blue. Algae is a more renewable resource. That's a good point. They could be growing it. They could be growing the algae as a resource so they have light. I like that. You know what's really cool about this, guys, is the more we develop, the more of like a lore document I can give to my players. So when they're creating their characters, they can go, well, maybe they sent me down because I'm not skilled in anything, but I am like an herbalist. So maybe they sent me down originally to research the plants, and so I'm the one who keeps the garden of the algae, right? Maybe that, a player could be that. Or maybe if I was going to be a player, I would build my player to be the engineer. Like, I would build the character that got sent down because they understand how 100-year-old century buildings were made with magic. And they understand like how to keep it running and how to fix it. Because if you're sending people down there to be like, hey, this is a part for magic, we need to make sure it doesn't break, you need somebody who can fix it. So that's the character I would build, but we'll see what they do. Ooh, lightning bugs trapped in jars. I'll put that down too. Lightning bugs trapped in jars. Bioluminescence is really cool. Yeah. There's even a Bob's Burger episode. Dang, there's a lot of references I could watch. Oh my goodness. What if she hates herself so much that she puts her hatred on the other players and members? Ooh. She might hate herself and puts that onto the players. Good idea. There's beaches that can have the bioluminescent algae at certain times of the year. Really? Seaweed jungles are hella spooky? I'm gonna write down seaweed jungle, and then I'm gonna write it down in my Google tab, because what is that? Seaweed jungle. Let me see. Whoa. Cool. I could see how you could get trapped. Like, you get stuck in all of the knots of the seaweed. Ooh. That is terrifying. That's cool. Seaweed jungle. Okay. If you get a jar of glowing algae, it becomes one of those manually powered flashlights that only go for like 5 minutes. And a lot of things hide in jungles. That's true. A lot of things hide in the jungles. And then you said algae could be similar to manual powered flashlight that only glows for 5 minutes at a time. This is out there, but what if the players are able to go bioluminescent for a certain time? Having to use dice or points to maintain bioluminescence could be interesting. Ooh, I will offer that to my players. Maybe a player could go bioluminescent for a short time in exchange for something like dice points. I like that. That's cool, Kingslayer. I just got a really good idea. What if there was a sea monster that is the darkness of the sea? And when she sees him, she is terrified of him. Ooh, I like that. Sea monster that is the darkness of the sea. I like that. Okay. Me and Gal decided that Bobby can shapeshift freely. Oh, you guys drew pictures of our other plot. Okay, let me look. Aw, he's adorable. I like him. He's cute. That's a very good drawing. I like how cute he is. You guys can completely develop that lore, by the way. I'm not joking. If you remind me in 2025 that I promise that is our one-shot theme, you can send me all your lore in 2025, not in 2024. And we'll do it. We'll run with it once we got a theater. That's what it'll be. What was something I was going to mention? So, do we want to give them, we'll send you a thesis? Good. Do we want to give them something similar to spacesuits, where they have maybe something that gives them a limited amount of oxygen in order for them to exit the lighthouse and do maintenance or repair on the outside, or whatever else they might need to do, like collect the algae, right? So do we want it to be an entire space suit? Because maybe the pressure as well, so maybe the suit stops the pressure that would like break your bones if you stepped out of the lighthouse? Or do we want it to just be like an air tank? What do we think the best way for that is? I have 31.6k channel points? Too many, Seven. Too many. You're gonna have way too many. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see how many points you have when you've been here for a year watching me stream. You're gonna have so many. Oh my gosh. I like the idea that you can grow it and use it as a renewable source of light, but that's too easy. I feel like to get it, you have to go a great distance and be in a lot of danger, and you only get it in small portions. I agree with you, News. Anything that makes a player's life harder, I am for. So we will say it is not easy to get. You have to go into some of the more dangerous or darker parts to get it, and you can only retrieve a small amount at a time. I like that. Never too many. If you grow plants, you get oxygen. What about the old diving suits? Ooh, that's a good idea, Dadley. The old diving suits in and of themselves are a little creepy. So I kind of like that. Like, what's the spooky villain from Scooby-Doo? All I can think of is Minor 49er, but that's not who it's supposed to be. Spooky, Underwater villain from Scooby-Doo. Oh, he has an actual name? Captain Cutler. I did not know he had a name. I thought it was something else that was like a little like less actual name, but apparently he's Captain Cutler. But that green guy with the old diving suit, I like that. I think that's a good idea. So let me put that down, Dadley. Old style diving suit in order to have some oxygen to do repairs outside the lighthouse and go a little ways around or outside it as well. Okay. Algae produces a lot of oxygen. Oh, that's great. It's not easy to get, nor is it easy to keep. It dies after being used like 3 times. Okay, so not easy to get or easy to keep. Dies quickly is what I'm gonna say. I have this idea. What if her parents died by drowning and she tried to save them and she drowned too? She didn't get to go to heaven. She got trapped in the water. And if that's why she's trapped. So I don't know if we'll use that for our villain, but I like that idea to give to players for like a backstory. That might be a cool reason why a player has decided to like go to the ocean. So that's a cool idea. I'll have to tell them that. A communication in the water would be interesting. You can't talk under the water unless you have a pipe or something. That's a good point. I never thought about communication. I'm going to make a communication tab. Communication. Let's see. Communication. Under the water is difficult or impossible? Question mark? They communicate inside the lighthouse to Angie, who they believe is on land, through an old-timey, like, radio communication system. Okay. I bet, but that doesn't put a lot of stress or tensions on the players, because then they can ration it out and make it last for a while. That's fair. So I think the idea that it dies very quickly, instead of like putting a set amount of time of like, you can use it 3 times, I think maybe it either dies after 1 use, or it is like, there's some sort of consequence that comes with it. So dies quickly or consequence for using it might be a good idea. If they do talk through a small tube or something, if a creature breaks the tube, then they're rightfully fucked. Oh yeah, if anything breaks, they're in trouble. Hey, Anar Christie, welcome! Anar Christie, we are building on our Season 2 for Candela Obscura campaign. We are officially in a deep sea ocean horror. And so we're creating ideas of like, what do they use for light down there? How do they talk to each other down there? Do they wear suits with oxygen attached down there? Like, what kind of things do they do? What creatures are they gonna face? We're doing all sorts of that. So if you have any ideas, feel free to throw them our way. It's good to see you again. What if there was a sea villain that has an old record player and it plays music on it? When your players go to it, they get sucked inside of the record player and cannot escape. I like that idea. I like that idea for like an artifact or something. So maybe, let's see, if we put that down as like an artifact. So old record player that traps players inside. As it plays music. Maybe it like plays the sound of screams mixed together like a mixtape into music. Maybe plays the sound of screams mixed together into a song. That's cool.
a suit more dangerous is higher stakes. Yeah, and I think with the suit as well, suit not just dangerous, but I think rather than the suit like having actual oxygen, I think the oxygen would be through algae. So it's like if you are running out of algae, you also can't use the suit, and you have to decide like, do I just huff the algae or do I shove it in the suit? Like, it's sort of an endless, like an Ouroboros, because in order to fuel the suit with oxygen, you need the algae, but to get the algae out in the ocean, you need the suit, but to use the suit, you need enough oxygen. So I think that's cool. Oxygen is powered from the algae. The more you use it, the sicker you get. Glowing things usually means poison. Ooh. The more you use it, the sicker you get. Glowing things can usually mean poison. Interesting. What if all you hear in the water is music with a ton of bass or something and the players don't know where it's coming from? I like that. You're okay, MM. It would be crazy for me to not want you to talk. Like, as long as you're, enjoying yourself and communicating properly and being a good person, we love you chatting. When it comes to pressure, the deeper you go, the bigger the creature. Oh, I did not know that. So when it comes to pressure, the deeper you go, the bigger the creature. I guess that makes sense, because if you're too small, then you're gonna get smushed. You need enough, like, density to be able to not get smushed. That's the guy? Yes. Algae grows rapidly, and they're harmful to the environment. Oh, algae grows rapidly, and they're harmful to the environment. When are we gonna bring in the Lovecraftian water creatures? Kingslayer, what have you got for me? Give me some crazy creatures. I would love as many as you got. Scary looking, horrifying things. We are all about it. There is one, technically, I think in the book. I think there's only one, but I could be wrong. Let me see if I wrote them down. I think they were called sea silks. Yeah, let me see if they're in the book. I think they're called sea silks. I think that's the only underwater monster that is in the original book. Let's see. Sucker for love, that shit? Yup. Angie is fishy. Oh no. Not Angie is fishy. Sea silks. Yeah, sea silks. Making their home within the shipwrecks of Oldport, these terrifying sea creatures resemble humans, but only in the most generous sense. They have wide frills around humanoid faces, complete with massive flat eyes and gaping mouths of needle teeth. Sea silks' incredibly long arms and wicked claws will snare unsuspecting sailors. They drown their prey and store the bodies to consume slowly. So that's the book's idea, which is not a bad idea. I think it's pretty cool. What about a small artifact, like a ring, an earring, or a necklace, that can be used for long-distance underwater communication that they find from looting? Ooh, Dadley, that could be a cool gift to them. If they roll well, I like that idea. So maybe artifact, I'll say a jewelry piece, like a ring, earring, or necklace that could be used for communication. Found by looting. Because there is a class in Candela that is called the Explorer. So if someone picks that, or if someone chooses to be sent down to the ocean because they're the researcher, right? They're supposed to figure things out and find new things and bring them back to the surface. They would definitely be looting and searching. So that's not a bad idea to try and reward them. What if there was a sea villain that pretends they're dead, and when your players go over to get some supplies from them, she kills them? Ooh, yeah, like faking death. So we'll put, let's see, we will put, I want to put it up here. A villain that fakes death and then attacks players who get close. That's a cool idea. What if you Lorax that shit and have oxygen in a can? Oh, that'd be funny. They got like there's just oxygen in a can that's strewn about because they've used them all. That would be funny. Maybe one of the players is like hoarding essential resources and everybody finds it, and that, you know, like promotes disdain and distrust. That's cool. You get a puka shell necklace set where everyone communicates through their own individual cell. Basically, what you guys are suggesting is that we make our own form of sending stones. Basically, you're like, all right, how do we make ocean version of sending stones? And you know what? I'm here for it. I'm literally going to put puka shell sending stones? Question mark? A shell phone? Get out of here. Don't. I love you. But get out of here. Not a shell phone. What if it's a battle buddy system where you're conjoined by a 2 so you can communicate? But if your battle buddy dies, then you have to figure out what you're going to do for oxygen. Ooh, that's a cool idea. So, battle buddy system. You are conjoined when it comes to communication and oxygen, and if one member, yep, I spelled that right, dies, then you have to figure out what you both share a tube that connects the suit. Your battle buddy dies, now you have to figure out what you're going to do for oxygen. I got you. Figure out what you're going to do for oxygen. Interesting. And not drown, yeah. What if the players find a graveyard full of all of Angie's victims? Ooh, okay, let's see. Maybe there is an underwater graveyard, or like kind of like shipwreck style or shipwreck style area with when I say shipwreck style, I mean like there are things jutting out from the ground, so like big stones or deadly pieces that they have to get through. With big stones or deadly pieces that they have to get through. That's not how you spell that. Get through. And the bodies are all of Angie's victims. That's a cool idea. I like that idea. I like all these ideas. They're fun. These are good ideas, you guys. These are good ideas. I am very excited to give like this big old lore document to the players. It's so funny because you guys are so good at creating a world, creating creatures and items and NPCs and all these things. And Oh, guys, Mr. Spider is alive. He's moved. He hasn't come closer, but he has moved. But you guys are so good at it, and sometimes I feel like I do a disservice by only doing 3-episode campaigns. Like, you give me so much that I'm like, there's so much we're not going to be able to get to. I feel like I need to run, like, a campaign that lasts for, like, years, you know? You guys are so good at it. Oh my gosh. Fun fact, a blue whale is so big that a grown man can swim through its arteroid comfortably. Look up whale fall. Okay. Also, that's a crazy fun fact. I love that. Arteries. Got you. That's a crazy fun fact. That is fire. Thank you for that. But I'm also going to look up whale fall. I am unable to spell. I love that. Oh. The ocean's depths are supplied by nutrients falling down from the surface waters. When whales die and sink, the whale carcasses, or whale falls, provide a sudden, concentrated food source and a bonanza for organisms in the deep. You're horrible and should feel bad. Totally joking. I love that. Whoa. So basically, it kind of, I'm going to say this and move forward because I don't like ants. But you know the image of, like, ants swarming over something and devouring it, or, like, termites? It's kind of that, but for, like, bioorganisms, or what are they called? Why can't I think of the word? Like the bacteria, but it swarms like ants and devours the carcass. Hello, Ava. Welcome. You walked in on a lovely moment. Hello, how are you? We are talking about horror things for our next TTRPG campaign that we are building. Maggots. Thank you, Dadley. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, that's cool. I will put down whale fall because I think the idea of, like, maggots but underwater, like consuming and devouring something, is cool. So, whale fall / maggots consuming and devouring carcass. That's cool. Look up Brinnisol. Okay. Brinnisol. Underwater amoebas? Literally, TK. Literally. What are these? Brinnisols. They look like giant worms. It's a downward growing hollow tube of ice enclosing a plume of descending brine that is formed beneath the sea. Oh, they're stalactites, but under the sea. Cool. Brinnisol. Stalactites under the sea. That randomly brought back the memory of walking past a baby bird on the ground being eaten alive by dozens of ants as a little kid. Well, Seven, I'm glad we gave you your trauma for the day. Enjoy! Have fun! You're welcome! The deeper you go, the colder it gets. But it doesn't freeze because of the salt content of the water. I'm so glad you guys know so much. The deeper you go, the colder it gets. But it doesn't freeze because of the salt content of the water. I had a deep sea nerd phrase. I love it. Ooh, megalodon sharks are a good idea, Dadley. Megalodon sharks. Yeah, those things are scary. Okay, question then. If the bottom, like, 'cause this is the ocean floor. If it is that cold down there, the inside, I understand that the ocean doesn't freeze because of salt, but the inside of the lighthouse is not ocean. Would they be wearing, like, Antarctica style outfits, like full on fur lined jackets and stuff. Like, what are their clothing? What's their outfit? Because inside of that lighthouse has to be freezing. And how are they keeping themselves warm in any capacity? Do they have a fire inside the lighthouse? I mean, theoretically they could make one, but I don't know where that smoke's going. Like, I'm interested now. How do they keep warm? How do they keep warm? Is there something that divers wear that is like waterproof? Because you can't wear fur. Is there something that divers wear? Like, I know that there are suits, like full body suits. Would they be wearing those and they'd have to wear them inside too in order to stay warm? That's a question I have now. There are some scary ass jellyfish. Oh yeah. Well, jellyfish can actually kill you. Listen, there's a lot of things in the water. I get that a lot of them can kill you, but jellyfish are one of those things that you can actually run into, and that should kill you fast. The inside of the lighthouse would not be able to get above 20 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm pulling that number out of my ass. I was about to fully believe you for a second and be like, oh my God. Not if the light source algae is also generating just enough warmth. Oh, that could also, we were talking about needing to make the algae something that it, like, make the resources very scarce, right? How do we make this algae, the thing that gives them oxygen, able to be used, but they need to be careful about using it and not using it 24/7. If the algae is also their heat source, then now they really have to be careful. Because do they use it for oxygen or do they use it for heat? That's interesting if the algae is also the heat. Maybe the algae is also the heat. It would smell like rotten celery all the time. Oh. Smells like rotten celery. Ugh. Nasty. I love it. So the suits are designed after seals. Unless they are by an underwater volcano, they're gonna freeze their ass off. Okay. So that might have to be a magical Candela thing, but I thought I'd mention it because I'm a little, I think that's interesting is like, because they have like a rubber or a neoprene or something. So let's see. Diving suits or clothing, question mark? The original communication between diver and surface attendant was by pulls on the diver's lifeline. Later, a speaking tube system, patented by Louis Deneroux in 1874, was tried. This used a second hose with a diaphragm, sealing each end to transmit sound. I'm guessing but it was not very good or accurate. That's interesting. I like the idea that pulling on the line is communication. That's an idea for communicating. Yeah, I'm going to put that down where pulling on a diver's line could be communication. I like that idea. Wait, you know what this makes me think of? You need to learn Morse code? Literally. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll give them, and I won't tell my players that we're going to use Morse code. And, you know, it's like in D&D when your character doesn't speak a language. And they're like, you see a letter. Do you speak such and such? And you're like, no. And nobody at the table speaks it. Except I learned the Morse code phrasing. And they go into, like, a room. And I'm like, you hear. And it's like some Morse coded thing that I've learned how to do. And everybody's like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, sucks to be you. Like, oh well. News, the idea of pulling on a line for communicating, brings my brain to in those astronaut movies where they go out like side the rocket ship and they're tethered. And then some like sort of black hole is so strong that it breaks the tether and they go off into space, right? We're forgetting, not really forgetting, But we have the power to do whatever we want. What if one of the things, because we can use nature as an enemy too, what if there are like whirlpools or whatever the equivalent of a black hole would be in this ocean? And maybe at some point they do have to be tethered, or they will get carried away and torn away and lose their communication and be losing oxygen into like a whirlpool or something. So like nature or whirlpools or something could be a danger. Riptides and currents. Yeah, riptides and currents as a danger. That's a cool idea. That would be cool. Something crying out for help using Morse code. Ooh. Something crying out for help using Morse code. Or if we end up going with the idea that there are multiple Angies, it could be that the Angie that's helping them is trying to tell them things in Morse code. So that the evil Angie doesn't know what's happening. It's like a secret communication. Ooh, I love this. This could be really cool. Or, I'm going to say something crying out for help using Morse code. Or maybe the good, in quotes, Angie is trying to secretly communicate. Something like that. It's really interesting. I love these ideas because I really don't know what the players are gonna bring to me. Like, there's so many options for our players to come, and I told them, I was like, go wild, go crazy. We have, what I can tell y'all is from our first season, we have 2 players returning to this campaign. I am going to be putting out a casting call for 2 more. Don't ask to audition. The answer's no. I'm putting it out in different circles that you will not see on my platform. So we're going to have 2 new players if I can get 2 people to sign on, and 2 returning players. I can tell you who the returning players are if you would like, but I think it's a little fun to be a little bit of a mystery. Sent you a cool pic. Okay, let me see. Whoa! They're like people or statues that are rusted and overtaken by algae. You know, that works with the idea of like, I think putting something in here when we talk about nature, we can also talk about man-made structures and architecture or boats that have sunk, maybe due to the vast chasm, maybe later, and are covered in algae and bacteria like old fossils and maybe preserved. Rust is a great enemy. Yeah. Rust is a great enemy. I like that. Ooh, hiccups are here. Okay. What if they use the water wave currency converted into electricity? Into a Tesla coil-like machine. Ooh, news. That isn't a bad idea either. Tesla coils can kind of exist in this universe. They'd be about the same time period. So, in order to keep warm, yeah, like wave currents, in order to do like a Tesla coil for heat. That's cool. I'm going to put that under how do they keep warm. So, wave currents, energy, or let's say wave currents converted through Tesla coil-like device into heat energy. They have a little water wheel. Oh, that's cute. Maybe a little water wheel for this device. That's cute. I like that. That's a really good idea for the heat. Because that's something I was curious about is like, what do they do to stay warm? Because it's gotta be so cold down here. I'm gonna look up. I wonder if we know. I don't know. We've never been to the bottom of the ocean, but maybe we know. Let's see. How cold is the bottom of the ocean? No matter how warm it is up top, by the time the sub has sunk to a depth of just 3,280 feet, or 1,000 meters, the water temperature is 40 degrees. From there, it continues to drop until 7,200 feet down, where the smokers are, the temperature is only about 35 degrees, just above freezing. Interesting. That's still not far down. Okay, but it is about freezing territory. That's so interesting. It's interesting because it's livable. It's not like it's negative 500 degrees where they're immediately gonna die. It's livable. Like, it's freezing, but it's livable. 32 degrees is livable. Also on the topic of water, salt water will kill you. What do they drink? Oh, what do they drink? Because salt water would kill them. No, I am not. Sometimes, the bot, like there is a robot that polices what people say in the chat. So sometimes the robot will think that you are also a robot, and so it blocks your messages. It depends on what you said, and it depends on how like frequent it is. There's a lot of weird rules, and I don't really know what they are. I know one of them is you can't put links in there, so if you were trying to do a link, it wouldn't work. But sometimes it does just delete messages. So I have not been doing it, but the robot could have been. So, sorry if I missed something. Sent you an unrelated drawing. Okay, Seven, I got you. Look up underwater smokers. They are cool and toxic. Okay. Underwater smokers. What about old-fashioned radiator heating units? I think that would work well, like the appearance. I think that appearance works really well with a Tesla coil. Like radiator style heating unit. Because I like that look. I think it looks really cool. Hydrothermal vents. It just did it again? I'm sorry. I don't know why it does that. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it because that's just the robot. So, I hope it stops. That's what I can say. Let's see. Anyway, can you search up Echo Shark? It's a shark that looks really cool. Yes, I can. Let's see. Echo Shark. Echo Shark. Gonna peace out. Gotta work out and shower. See y'all Saturday. Goodbye, Seven. We'll see you Saturday. We are doing a painting and drawing stream Saturday, so I'll be excited to see you there. Have a good night, okay? Okay. They were invented in the 1840s. Got it, Dadley. Okay, so they would exist then. They would definitely exist. Oh, the Echo Shark's really cool, Whoa. Oh, it looks creepy with all the teeth and, like, the long snout. That's cool. That would definitely be cool to, like, see in the campaign with, like, how creepy it kind of looks like. Furnaces, so like a furnace, that won't work. Furnaces eat oxygen, but the radiant heat from decay from the algae might heat boilers or uranium. Okay, so, like, so radiant heat from from algae, or uranium could heat boilers. You can burn dead algae. You can burn dead algae. All these options are really good because it means that I can also bring it back and be like, okay, players, do you have a preference? Like, which one do you want? What if when burned, the hallucinogenics start and they don't know? Ooh, maybe burning the algae gives off hallucinogenic effects, but they don't know that. Interesting. And back then, uranium wasn't seen as dangerous. Yeah, that's why I was considering uranium, TK, because nobody would have any idea that it's like cancer stuff. They don't know what that is. So that would definitely be something that they would use. By all means. Gal, I know you told me to look up smokers or hydrothermal vent is what Google is telling me here. So let me see what this is. Hydrothermal vents are fissures on the seabed from which geothermally heated water discharges. They're commonly found near volcanically active places. The dispersal of fluids throughout the global ocean at active vent sites create plumes. The deposits are rocks and mineral ore formed by the action of hydrothermal vents. Interesting. Oh, so they're like giant, really hot, like steam things. Okay. So I'll put that down under the nature category. Let's see. Hydrothermal vents and their incredible heat. That's a good one. Cancer didn't exist back then. Yup, definitely, Gal. That's the answer. By the way, I have a uranium-painted travel clock. Dang, that's crazy. I hope you keep it behind glass. TK, that's true. They were even trying to cook and clean with uranium. News, I had no idea they cooked with uranium. Wow. That is crazy. That would be an interesting undercurrent, like an underlying idea if they were using uranium stuff. Oh, that's interesting. You'll be boiled alive if the toxic stuff doesn't kill you. Accurate. Boiled alive if the toxic stuff doesn't kill you. Okay. Freeze-dried meals. Yes, but they would have run out. They are 5 years into being stuck down here, and they were only supposed to stay a year. So even if they had, like, extras, they would not have had 5 years worth of food. So I'm thinking they're, like, fishing. They're like underwater sea fishing with spears type of energy. I'm gonna put that down. Underwater sea fishing with spears, etc. And they probably eat crabs and that kind of jazz. Eat crabs and fish. Thoughts on heat lamps? I like I don't know that I would use heat lamps because I like the idea either the one that was suggested where it's energy being converted into an actual like source point that can't move, that is kind of like a makeshift Tesla coil, or it's the algae burning. Because I think both of those force them to have it be a little stationary. Because that way it's like the lighthouse can be where we keep warm. But once you're in the ocean, good luck, right? You've got the suit on. And if that suit breaks, it is your everything. So I kind of like that. It's very tiny and lead covered, meant to be unbreakable for travel. I keep it in the back of my closet. Lead container. Oh, okay. Okay. It's very tiny and lead covered, meant to, yeah. Okay, as long as it's not like sitting out in front and being like, look, uranium. Oh, burning anything is going to be a no-no because oxygen is flammable. You're right. Let me put a note here so I remember that when I'm creating things. No burning. Oxygen is flammable and cannot, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Fill the lighthouse with the toxic smoke either. Good point. We're gonna have to remember that. Oh, hell no. Okay, good, TK. Good. One of the rooms could be an underwater greenhouse. The lighthouse is a smoker. That would be funny, where it's like just releasing like steam and heat. Underwater greenhouse would be cool. That'd be kind of cool. Underwater greenhouse. The purer the oxygen, the more flammable. Oh, I did not know that. The purer the oxygen, the more flammable. Interesting. This is cool. I love this. I'm so excited for this campaign. If you don't have enough oxygen, you get the yips? What is that? YIPS. Let's see. This is giving me the version of it in sports. It says they are a sudden and unexplained loss of ability to execute certain skills in athletes. Losing fine motor skills and psychological issues that impact muscle memory and decision making, leading them to unable to perform basic skills. Huh. It's slang for neural problems. Oh. Interesting. Well, yeah, then they definitely can't be burning anything. Interesting. That's weird that it's so heavily associated to, like, sports. Whoa. Dang, you'll learn a lot. This is why Wikipedia is useful. I know people hate and don't like you to be able to use Wikipedia, but that's crazy. Interesting. Huh. Also, did you know that oxygen is slowly... Don't take my word, it's called something else for divers. Oh, got you. Okay. That's why you need antioxidants, fair? Did you know that oxygen is slowly burning your lungs? That's why when hospitals give you that's why they give you diluted oxygen with regular air. Oh, I did not know this. Apparently, this might not be helpful at all, but I'm gonna write it down. Apparently, oxygen burns your lungs. It has to be diluted with regular air. Huh. The more you know. I will say, Gal, you asked a question that we still have not determined the answer to. What do they drink? Because they can't drink the seawater. Evil but funny homebrew item, a potion of hiccups that lasts 4 hours. Dadley, that's just me. That's just me during it all. There was a study where people got straight up oxygen and people got high from it. Dang. They drink seaweed juice? I suppose that's possible. Seaweed juice. You could drink seaweed juice. I'd be down for that. I'm about to Google this. Can you boil, I think it's boil, right? Can you boil salt water to make it drinkable? No, not even if you boil it. Boiling kills bacteria and viruses, but doesn't remove salts and minerals. Okay. So it still is not workable. There are sometimes freshwater puddles in saltwater places. Yeah, but we're at the bottom of the ocean. I understand what you're saying, though. It might just be something that we don't talk about because we don't have an answer, or we magic the answer, to be honest. Oh, I'm sorry, MM. Well, maybe it's just today. If you remember what you wanted to say, then maybe it'll work on Saturday. I don't know, I'm sorry. In sports, it's also used as an explanation for psychological problems. Ted Lasso has a Yip episode. Oh, interesting, TK. What you could do is boil it and drink the condensation. Oh. We could do something like that. Okay, I'll put that under what do they drink. Boil seawater and drink condensation. Nope, that's not the word. Condensation, not the actual water, 'cause it doesn't remove salt. Puppets are on, gotta go, love you guys. I've gotta wash the rotting Angie thoughts out of my head. Go enjoy puppets, TK. Have a good night, okay? We appreciate you and we love you. Thanks for joining us and giving us ideas. Collected rainwater. Problem is, Dadley, we at the bottom of the ocean. Where are they getting rainwater? That's how you get sea salt, by boiling salt water until it is all evaporated. Oh, good to know. Okay. So, okay, we could argue rainwater to an extent because technically the way that the ocean works in this universe is there's a crack, kind of like how Moses parted the sea, where there's like a big old line of just open sea floor, no water. So if they are close enough to that they could journey outside of that into like the air section, put out things to collect rainwater, and then bring them back inside. They'd have to be closed capsules because they cannot interact with the seawater. But it's arguable. So I'll say if they can set up devices outside the barrier of the vast chasm, which is what the big ocean Moses split is called, then they can collect rainwater in closed devices for drinking water. Salt water can be filtered if they can make a water filter. Okay, so water filter, an option for getting salt out of ocean water in order to drink it. Okay. Back, had to dip for a few. What did I miss? Not too much news. We're still developing. We were talking about what they drink down here. So we were talking about ideas of making water filters in order to filter out the salt from the water. We were talking about the idea of, in this universe, the ocean has been kind of like split, or if you know, like Christianity type of stuff, separated, like how Moses separates the Red Sea, and it stays like that. So you could argue that if they are in a traveling distance to leave the water, they would essentially like whoop out from the water into a fully open plain of like oxygen, able to walk on the ocean floor without water, and they could put like rain collecting devices with like lids on them and bring them back inside to drink. I got a rest of the life and get Angie's outside of my head. I love you so much. Have a good night. Good night, MM. Thanks for talking with us. We'll see you again later. That's okay. I know what you mean. You have a good night, okay? Thanks for stopping by. From a Google search, alcohol. Alcohol for what, gal? What is the alcohol for? I do not understand. Do you mean like that's how they do a water filter? Because they can't only be drinking. You're going to tell me people only drink alcohol? That's it? I have to go enjoy the rest of the night? Yes. Have a good night. Have a good night. You're good, MM. Enjoy, enjoy. There's no way they just drink alcohol. Are you saying they could make alcohol down here? It was an option? No, you're okay. You're okay. I'm not opposed to them drinking alcohol. But are you saying they could make it down here? Because again, whatever they eat, drink, live with, they have to be able to make it. Because they have been down here longer than the resources they brought with them. So unless the resources they brought would last this long. I mean, yes. Okay, I know nothing about making alcohol. So it's a genuine question. I have no idea. How do you make alcohol? Fermenting sugars in grains, fruits, or vegetables. Fermenting things make alcohol and sugar. Okay. So I guess it depends on what they're... Because where would they get their sugars from? Maybe if we have an underwater greenhouse, then they could get their sugars from there. That could be possible. I will allow it. If one of my players is like, I want my character to be old grumpy alcoholic man, I will allow it. I'm not going to give them that as an option, though, because... Honey, they have bees? Right, but they would have had to brought honey with them. Would they still have enough honey? 5 years? I don't know that they would still have enough honey. Honey lasts a long time, but this is 4 people. Like, using all the resources. Oh, if they have a greenhouse. Interesting. You know, if someone wants to be like the caretaker of the greenhouse, I could see them arguing that they brought like bees. Can you imagine? Wait, that's hysterical, actually. Can you imagine you're going down to the ocean with a group of people and everybody gets to bring the stuff they need to do their job, and one of these strangers who you've like never met is like, oh, what did you bring? Bees. I brought bees down the ocean floor. I love that so much. Oh my god, I brought bees. You can have a beekeeping space and bees pollinate your stuff and make honey. Apparently there's a seaweed gin. Alright, I'll write it down. I'm literally gonna write the words. Apparently there is a seaweed gin. That's what I'm gonna write. And then I'm gonna write also bees? Question mark? That was your idea, Emma RK. Hello. Welcome, Emma. How are you tonight? We're thinking of fun, silly ideas on what... Well, not really fun, silly. We happen to accidentally do fun, silly with the bees. But we are talking about ideas for our next TTRPG campaign that is deep sea ocean horror themed. So we've been talking about how do they communicate, what do they drink, what do they eat, because they are all living underwater at the ocean floor. They technically live in a building that is like fully oxygen, no water in there, but they're inside of the ocean floor of the water. A player brings bees and another is allergic to said bees? Oh no. Oh no. It's gonna be like, What's that movie where the bunny is outside with like the killer bees and then the kid goes outside to save the bunny and the bees like swarm them and sting them to death and kill them? I don't know what movie that is, but I remember being traumatized as a child watching that. Could always be a freshwater ocean. Yeah, that's fair, Dadley. That's true. Could be a freshwater ocean if need be. If they fight, someone needs to say screw you and bees nuts. I love that. Oh my god. That is hysterical. I'm telling y'all right now, you will be the first to know if I have a player who looks at our lore document, sees every possible option, and goes, I want to be the bees guy. I want to be the bee guy. Oh my lord. That's crazy. I mean, I did tell them to go wild. I did say go as crazy as you can. I'm really hoping that they give me some magical powers and stuff. Because I think it's fun to play the people who are like touched by the magic and can do crazy shit. I always play like people who can't do crazy shit because it's more fun to me to do like the human emotional side, but I like as a GM when players are like, nah bitch, I can manifest things. I'm like, okay, manifest, let's go. Especially with Candela Obscura because it has no rules essentially. You could do whatever you want. I'm really hoping one looks like Jane's dad from Tarzan. Oh, no. Oh, Lord. So, if I had to guess, and obviously we're only having 2 players back, we're going to have to get 2 new ones. If I personally was creating characters for this campaign, I would have someone who is like the expedition person, the researcher. They were sent to gather information, find ruins or artifacts or creatures, or like the person who is like, I have all of the documentation. It is my job to learn. I am the science guy. That's what I would have. And then I would have the mechanic or the engineer who was sent down specifically to be the maintenance person. If something breaks, they fix it. If the building starts to go, they work on it. Like, their entire job is to keep the lighthouse running while everybody else does their job. And then I would have somebody who is like the defense, which honestly, I wouldn't even build as like a muscle character. I would not build them as a soldier. I would build the defense as someone who is magically in tuned. Because if I'm in this literal like magic hotspot, the person I want defending me is the person who can communicate with the creatures or control them or manipulate them. I don't want the soldier with a gun in a building that if we accidentally damage it, we all die because the water flushes in. We need a magic person. So that's what I would have. And I don't know who the last person would be. What do y'all think? Who would you bring? What would you build? So he's Angie's nemesis, literally. Velma from Scooby-Doo. Exactly, Elma. One of my characters would be Velma. I would have that, I would have the engineer, and I would have the magic person. But I don't know who the 4th person would be for me. Who would be your person that you would bring? That whether it'd be fun playing or you think would be necessary to send to the ocean. Aquaman! Literally, Dadley, the magic guy that would go is just Aquaman. Like, he talks to the fish, you know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh. He's just the deep from the boys. Oh my lord. Because if I am the organization, if I am Candela, and I am choosing 4 people to send down to this magical location at the bottom of the ocean, those 3 people are people I would automatically choose. But I don't know who else I would send. Maybe a doctor? So that if anybody does get injured, they could do first aid or repair them, or... if we're talking mechanics, and I know that might not be everybody's thing, the doctor is one of, if not the most powerful mechanic-based character in the game. Because Candela Obscura is a game where you cannot heal. The whole big point of the game is when you take damage, you can never, ever remove it. You just keep taking damage until you are dead. So the doctor is the only role that has the possibility, it is still a dice roll, the possibility to heal you. And I think you can only do it once per assignment. So, like, it's a really powerful character. Superman because he's super. Batman, you're correct, Emma. All of these are correct answers. I would bring Batman easily. Batman. Oh, news. Yes, you're right with Batman too. Batman. Mr. Smee. You're telling me you want Mr. Smee instead of Captain Hook as your fourth member to go down to the bottom of the ocean? I guess they're both kind of inept, huh? That's your opinion, but it was also said as a joke. Nah, Batman is correct. I love Batman. I'm a DC nerd. Superman's cool, but Batman is correct. Mr. Smee was competent? He was Hook's caretaker? What movie did you watch where Mr. Smee was competent? I'm not saying Hook was competent. Hook was also an idiot. But exactly what? No! Smee was not competent in Peter Pan. Absolutely not. I fully disagree. I do not think any of those ship members were competent. I think they were all idiots. I do not remember him being smart at all. I really don't. Hello, Gothic. How are you? How are you? We are working on our Season 2 campaign, but also we've derailed because Gal is trying to tell me that Mr. Smee was smart in Peter Pan, and I disagree. Hey, MM, welcome back. He always took care of Hook. He can cook, heal wounds, and wasn't afraid of the crocodile. This is a hill I will die on. Gal, you better get out your shovel and write your will. Because you're about to die on this hill. That shit better be clipped. And I'm subbing now? Thank you, News. I appreciate that. Welcome to the community and the family. Batman is the king. Oh my god, I'm a Joker baby. It's so funny. I am unfortunately, like, the Joker incels. I have so many posters on my wall. I love DC. I'm not saying he was smart, but he was competent and he never got hurt. Square up. Mr. Smee will take care of me. Alright, Gal. I don't know. Maybe I don't have the means and the necessity to fight you on this hill. But, I don't know, man. I agree. Well, shit. I can't fight two of you at once. Gothic and Gal, you guys win. You guys win. I just wanted to pop in one last time before I go to bed. Aw, that's fine, MM. Get some sleep. Have a good night. Alright. Gothic, Gal, you may win this fight of Mr. Smee being competent. I do not have enough stake in this fight to kill you on this hill tonight. Oh, that was a rhyme. Clip that shit. That shit was a rhyme. That was cool. I think he was the smarter one of the bunch, but was also kind of an enabler. That's fair. You know what, News? I think that's a fair assessment. Out of the lot of them, like out of the group, I guess he was the smartest out of the group of pirates. But he definitely did not do much to stop what was occurring, so definitely an enabler. DC makes great animated movies and series. Dadley, I am so much of a little Batman boy that I also like the live action. I'm sorry, but why did you say that name? Is amazing. It's hysterical, and I love it. Also, I am so much of a Batman boy. First of all, I love Gotham. People hate the Gotham TV show. I love Gotham. But I'm also so much of a Batman boy
There is a literal saying, because y'all peep my name. Last name is Schumacher. You see that? I literally have said, since day fucking one, that I must redeem the Schumacher name from Joel fucking Schumacher, who ruined Batman. I will redeem my name by making a DC movie that is good, or a DC show that is good, to redeem it from what Joel Schumacher did with bat nipples, okay? I must redeem the family name. I am not connected or close or related, as far as I know, to Joel Schumacher, but he did ruin our name, and so I must redeem it. LOL indeed. I must redeem it from the tragedy that was bat nipples. And now I'm so fervent that I'm spilling my drink. Oh my god. Lord save me. LMAO indeed. Do y'all... Okay, this is such a tangent. Now, I like the old Batman movies. Fire. Which one did he make? I want to say it's Batman and Robin. Joel Schumacher, Batman. No, it's Batman Forever. Oh, and Batman and Robin. He made Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. All right, I'm lurking. Gotta pick up my sis from the airport. Go for it, gal. Also, be safe. So even if you lurk, make sure you're doing what you gotta do, and tell your sister that this random streamer says hello. I like both. Gothic, I am glad you enjoy them. And they are fun. They still have curse. They still are cursed and need to be redeemed. It can be fun, but I must fix it. I must create masterpieces. That is what I must do. One day, when the world knows my name, I will do it. So this was off topic, but someone mentioned it. Who mentioned it? Oh, with the LOLs and the LMAOs, I have to know, because people have told me I'm weird. Do you guys say that out loud, or is that only a text thing for y'all? Like, have you ever, in speaking conversations, been like, LOL, or LMAO? I have. And I have been fervently told that that is weird. Because I definitely have. Still better than the live action Avatar? Dadley. Don't talk about the sin against humankind that is Netflix, the live action Avatar. M. Night Shyamalan, we thought that he was the worst that could come. And then Netflix came. And it proved that it could do much, much worse. We don't talk about that shit in here. Oh, I haven't even seen it and I still want to kill it. Just text. So I am weird. We already knew this. We already knew I was weird, and that's okay. I love it. Oh my god. God tier shit. God tier shit. Oh, that's funny. I'm indifferent on the situation, but one perspective is it was more, I think, a realism choice. You mean the Schumacher Batman movies? Or do you mean the Avatar movie? Because if you mean the Avatar live action Netflix, I seen some it's better than the live movie. Y'all, I support you and your opinions. I fully disagree. I think the Netflix live action, but I guess I'm not allowed to fully disagree because I haven't technically sat down and watched it. I've only, heard about it. I haven't even watched clips because I can't get myself to watch it. I do think the movie is bad. The movie is shitty. I know it is. But I refuse to watch it. Alright, I guess I will not die on this hill until I actually watch the Netflix version. But from what I've heard, I think I would dislike the Netflix version more than I would dislike the live action movie. I only say LMFAO if I'm around kids. Okay, news. Okay, got you. I feel you.
The live TV show is a little better, and you meant the Batman movie. Okay, good news. I agree with you on Batman movie side. That's fair. But, oh God, when it comes to Avatar, y'all, so Avatar was one of my big three. So, as a little neurodivergent baby, and I still am, I had three big boys. And every time someone's like, what's your favorite this? I always have three that are tied in everything. Books, shows, everything. There's always video games, three that are tied. My big three in the formal development years was Legend of Zelda, that series, specifically Twilight Princess, but that series. Avatar: The Last Airbender, the cartoon. And a little bit later, like 12, 13, Yu-Gi-Oh! Sorry, Gothic. Ads suck on Twitch. But those were my big three. And so anything dealing with... Sorry, Dadley, yeah. Anything dealing with Avatar or Zelda or Yu-Gi-Oh! Not really Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I'm only really a Duel Monsters person, and Yu-Gi-Oh's already fucked up, so we'll leave that one out. But Avatar and Zelda, I get really, like, passionate about, where I'm like, no, this is wrong, and you are doing things dirty. Or I'm like, I like it. I like this interpretation, even though people don't like it. For Avatar, it just makes me sad, where I'm like, oh no, no live actions. Live action's bad. For Zelda, I love everything they do with Zelda. Zelda's like the opposite. I'm like, you can do anything you want, and I love all of it. Because it's just so beautiful of a foundation to fuck around with and find out. And as much as I love Twilight Princess, and I would prefer darker games like Majora's Mask and such, I still like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I think the creativity in the mechanics, brilliant. So cool. Amazing. The story's kind of meh. The plot's kind of boring. The NPCs are boring. Whereas you have, like, cooler NPCs and other stuff. I do recommend watching, before you come to a conclusion, the 2007 movie Hulk, I was told was bad, and it sucks ditty balls, but I didn't see it until 2013, and I thought it was a good movie. Okay, news, I will halt until I watch the Netflix Avatar then. I won't necessarily be able to go into it with an open mind, but I will halt my fervent disdain until I actually see it. As for, like, the Schumacher movies, like Batman and stuff, that stuff I've seen, don't particularly like or enjoy. I don't think they're necessarily, like, horrid, but I really don't like them. But that's because I like darker, gritty stuff. So I'm always going to have a little bit of, like, a bias towards dark, gritty stuff. But I will wait for the Avatar, whenever I am able to watch the Avatar Netflix version and I can stomach it, I'll have to do that and hold my judgment. Because I just, it's so near and dear to my heart that I'm like, I don't want to watch it. Like, I like my cartoon. I don't want to watch it, you know? I've also met a couple of the voice actors from the cartoon, and they're so sweet, and I'm like, oh, I like them. I like the cartoon. But it is what it is. Welcome back, my ads people. I think you are back. At least on my end, it looks like it. But, yeah. Basically, it's one of those things. What I was going to say while you guys were gone for ads is Avatar is, like, so, like, sentimental to me, the cartoon, that I'm even one of those people who, like, doesn't like Korra. And I know a lot of Avatar fans love Korra, because just, like, anything in the universe is great and happy and you can see light in and goodness in, and I respect that. I'm just a really big, like, original cartoon person that has nostalgia for me, and I hated Korra. I was the right age range for it, because I grew up with Avatar, and when they were making Korra for teenagers, I was the right age range. Still hated it. Even with how much I like dark and gritty stuff, was not my jam. Now, I gotta say, the Fallout TV show was better than The Witcher. The Fallout TV show was excellent, in my opinion. I have not played the Fallout games. So if someone else who's played the Fallout games can be like, oh, no, actually it was good, your opinion supersedes mine. But I loved
the Fallout TV show. You have? Okay, Gothic. Okay. Korra was okay, but I wasn't a fan either. Yeah, Dadley, I'm not the greatest fan. I loved the Fallout TV show. I was hooked. I was like, dang. The actors are good and the plot is good and I love the special effects and the pacing. Pacing is so hard and dialogue is so hard. And they did both of those really, really well. And I loved it. I did like the Witcher TV show, but again, I didn't play the Witcher games and I didn't read the Witcher books. Because I know the Witcher TV show was supposed to be based on the books, but then they even went around a lot of what the books did and kind of did their own thing. So I enjoyed it, but at some point, I'm not going to watch, I probably won't watch the new stuff now that Henry Cavill's gone. But it is what it is. It's true to lore? Oh, okay, good, Gothic. I'm glad to hear that, because I did not know that at all. I missed the big three because of ads? Oh, Dadley, my big three growing up was Avatar was my first one, because when it came out, I was 2005, so I watched as a little kid. And then Legend of Zelda, that series, Twilight Princess in particular, but Legend of Zelda. And then 12, 13 years old, Yu-Gi-Oh! Like the first season. Not first season, but first series. Those were the big three. But Zelda's kind of the opposite of Avatar for me, because Zelda, I like everything they do. Versus Avatar, I'm like, no, I don't like any of it. It was good at season 1, and then 2, they changed it for The Witcher. Oh, Gothic, I didn't know that. So, I will say for The Witcher, I enjoyed it, but with a grain of salt. It was one of those things where, how do I put it? It felt very convoluted and over the top and messy to an extent. But once I realized that, okay, that's kind of what the show was going to be, then I just kind of sat there and enjoyed what it was. But I do agree that it feels like a little messy. They went away from the games and the books. Okay, that's what I was wondering, Gothic, because it does feel like it starts to get messy. But I enjoy the actors, and I like fantasy stuff, so that was okay. But I could feel that for The Witcher's energy. OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Listen. I'm Joey Wheeler. I got my red eyes black dragon. Shut up, Mokuba. Mokuba, tell this fool that he will lose to my blue eyes white dragon. Fucking love them. I mean, they're everything, bro. I love them. Dadley agreed. Yes, news. Yes. Okay. The original Yu-Gi-Oh! Is got tier. Yugi's voice is hard. I don't know, Dan Green. It's just his high-pitched voice, but the Pharaoh's very, Yugi, what should we do? And then Yugi's very, I don't know, Pharaoh. What should we do? That kind of jazz. I fucking love him. And then you have Taya in the back doing nothing because she's useless. Love it. Oh, that's why the main guy quit. Oh, Henry Cavill, you mean Gothic. Yeah. I'm not surprised because he was a big fan of The Witcher. So it makes sense if they were going in like a direction that was not true to the books or to the show or to the games, that he would not be a fan of it, because he was a big fan of The Witcher. So that makes sense. I probably won't watch the new season with the new guy. I don't think that's my energy. There's a couple of stuff that like lately video game shows and video game movies have been really good. Like the Sonic show. The Sonic show is fire. Oh my god, I don't remember what it's called, but have y'all seen that on Netflix? That's a good-ass show. I'm like, dang! And I love the Sonic movies. They're so much fun. Oh my gosh. I love the Sonic movies. And the Sonic show. Both of them are good. There's no new guy. It focuses around a woman. Oh, Gothic, I didn't know that. I thought they were making a new season with, the guy who is Thor's brother. And he was, like, replacing him or something. I don't know. Yeah, the Sonic shows are good. The Sonic shows are fire.
I forget what they're called though. No, they're not. Okay, good to know. The Sonic shows are good. What other video game stuff have they been? I didn't mind the Super Mario movie. I think the Super Mario movie was fun. It was cute. It was adorable. Chris Pine didn't do nearly as bad as everyone thought he was gonna do. Yeah, Mario, literally you thinking where I'm thinking, Gothic. The Mario was good. I liked Mario. I actually recently on Netflix, I know it came out a while ago, back when video game movies were still like trash or just becoming okay with like Detective Pikachu. The Warcraft movie, I don't know that it followed plot or anything. I don't play World of Warcraft, but I watched it recently and I thought it was fun. I was like, oh, this is cute. This is a cute little movie. It's got a little bit of a basic plot line and it's a little rushed. But I thought it was fine. I enjoyed it. It was just, stereotypical fantasy. Did you see what Sonic was originally supposed to look like? Yes! Oh my gosh. Can you imagine if they had gone with the original version of Sonic? Can you imagine how absolutely horrific that movie would have been? Y'all, with the human teeth? Oh my god, bro, the human teeth is crazy. I'm really glad because it's crazy because most big media companies do not care about the opinions of viewers because they know they'll make money anyways. So the fact that the people making that movie actually listened to their audience and said, okay, we hear you, we'll change it. That's amazing. Like, I hate to give big corporations praise, but it was actually really good of them to do that. And I gotta give them praise for that, because then they made incredible movies. It wasn't rushed, it was the same pace with the game. Really, Gothic? I didn't know that. Then maybe the game feels rushed. I don't know, I've never played. But I enjoyed the movie. It was pretty basic fantasy. I think it was fun. I didn't think it was too bad. I know that they're always teasing like a Zelda movie, and I'm always scared for it because Zelda's one of my big threes. Oh, it is fast paced. Okay, got you. But like, I'm always scared about possible Zelda movies because they'll do it shittily, and I know they'll do it badly, and I really don't want that. I shared my old Yu-Gi-Oh card collection in the Discord. Okay, let me see this. Yu-Gi-Oh card collection in the Discord. Let me see. Yu-Gi-Oh card collection in the Discord. It would have tanked? Yeah, it would have been so bad news with the human teeth. Oh, I hate it. Oh, I hate the human teeth. Hey, that's cool. You have those boxes for all the cards too. Aw, Dadley, that's so cool. I like that a lot. I have binders. I used to collect a good amount of cards. I still have binders of the cards. I just don't collect anymore. I only need one god card, and I don't know which one it is. I think it's Slifer, because I think I have Obelisk and Ra, but I don't have Slifer. I think, like the Japanese versions. Because I collect them. I don't really trade. House of the Dead was good. Have I seen House of the Dead? Let me look that up. House of the Dead. Oh, I don't think I've seen that. Yeah, I don't know that one at all. Oh, 2003, huh? Interesting. Based off a game. Okay. I'm gonna have to add that to a list. The OG Doom was badass, and then they tried the woke bullshit with a new Doom series, and it wasn't good. Oh, that sucks. Especially if you have, like, previous iterations that did really well, and then you try to make new stuff, and you, like, don't understand the point of it, and you tank it. Yeah, that sucks. I can't fall asleep, so I'll just watch you. It's no worry. You've got about 12 minutes left with us. I run until midnight my time, so you got about 12 minutes left with us, and then we can all try and fall asleep. We are talking about different, like, video games into movies or TV shows, and what worked and what didn't work. Because we were talking about the Sonic movies and the Sonic show, which are really, really good. and Witcher was okay, but you know, it was kind of like back and forth, and it started to get bad. Super Mario movie was good. Mostly cards from the OG series with first and limited editions, and prints of the spell cards that still say magic cards. Dadley, those are the most fun, the ones that say magic cards instead of spell. That's so cool. I mostly collected stuff that I liked. So the God cards, and because I was a big Merrick person, because I like Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged a lot. So I loved Merrick in the abridged format, where he's like, my name is Merrick Ishtar. That I love that. So I was trying to get his deck. I really liked that. Silent Hill, yeah, I'll agree with you. Silent Hill was pretty good. Silent Hill was good. Silent Hill, like the demo game, what is it, PT or something, where you're walking through the house and it consistently changes. Oh, one of the best. It's not even a horror game because it's a fucking demo, and still one of the best ever made. That shit is crazy. Sleep, I'm pulling an all-nighter tonight. Gal, I wondered, when you said you had to go pick up your sister, and I'm pretty sure you're in the same time zone as me, I was like, oh, interesting. That is late. That is late. Good luck. Good luck at the airport waiting for people. That's gonna suck. Is she on a time difference? Because that's also gonna suck for her, trying to, like, jet lag it out. That would suck a lot. Yeah. The Silent Hill one is so good. I love, like, Alien Isolation, if we're talking horror video games. Alien Isolation, I adore. I love all the Outlasts. You guys know that, because I love medical horror stuff. What else is, like, a really good one? Oh, the Resident Evil, like, movies? Yeah, the Resident Evil movies are not good. The Resident Evil movies are not good. It's funny, because the games are great. The games are really enjoyable, but the movies are oof. The movies are oof. We are of the same time, and she was 2 hours after us. Oh, so she's really gonna be tired. Bro, she gonna be tired. That jet lag's gonna hit, too. Dang. The animated ones are good? I don't know if I've seen the animated ones. Animated Resident Evil. I do not know if I've seen the animated ones. I might have to check those out. OG Pokemon was great. Ash, Misty, and Brock always had the most savage roast. Yo, they said wild things in OG Pokemon. They held nothing back. They really, like, someone would make a comment and they'd be like, stupid, and then continue with whatever they're saying. I'm like, what? Or they, like, Brock was a player. They would make stuff at his expense because he would flirt with every female to exist. I know we shouldn't say female, but that is how Brock would see them, is as females. But literally, like, every motherfucker, he was like, woman. I was like, bro, that shit was crazy. Oh my gosh, dude. The OG Pokemon was wild. So, I was never really a big Pokemon person. I know it's got a huge following right now. Like, there's a bunch of Pokemon content. I mean, it always has, and it's been big for a while, but, like, right now there's, like, a bunch of stuff coming out everywhere, and a lot of people play it. Or maybe just the people that, like, I watch on YouTube play it a bunch. Maybe I'm in the wrong market. But, it's interesting because my era of Pokemon, the little bit that I watched, because I didn't really get into it, was Serena. It was Serena's era with the boy in the blue suit and the yellow hair, and Serena with the red hat. That was my era of Pokemon growing up. That was the one where I caught some of those episodes. I think it was Serena. I think that's her name. I might have her name wrong, but the first Resident Evil movie was good in my opinion, but really went to shit fast. Yeah, I feel like, well, and back then when they were making those, they didn't really have, like, any grasp or concept or way to adapt them, right? It's one of those things where they were just kind of throwing shit at the wall. Like, video game movies weren't good then. There wasn't really a thing. You just kind of did it and you hoped and you prayed. Nowadays, it's a little bit less forgiving if they do bad video game adaptations, because we have examples of good ones. So, just looked at Merrick's deck list. If I remember correctly, I have most of those cards. Dadley, if you ever come to a convention where I'm, running my workshop, because we run the voice acting workshop, if we are ever at the same convention, I might have to trade you for some of those cards. You better come to my workshop at an anime convention, because we're going to have to trade. Outlast Trials was a bit of a disappointment. News, is that the new multiplayer one? Because I agree. Outlast Trials. Yeah, that's the new multiplayer one, right? Oh, maybe not. Whether you go through the trials alone or in teams. Yeah, I agree. It's a full disappointment. Noted. Okay, I'm glad, Dadley. I agree. I don't think it feels like a demo. I get what they were going for, and I don't think they necessarily were wrong in the idea. Nope, he's still there. Okay. I'm checking on that spider. But it was not their genre. Multiplayer horror was not their genre, and they did fine, but because they're so good at the solo horror genre, it was a disappointment. And so if it had come out of a different company, I'd be like, cool, this is a really cool endeavor. It's your first attempt. Good job. Could learn a few things. But the fact that it was Outlast, I was like, oh, but you make really good, like, solo play horrors. Why did you spend your time making this instead of making another solo horror game? Like, I understand wanting to branch out and not be stuck to one thing. And I understand needing that room to try. But, like, you gotta know the expectations of your audience when you do that. And it was a little disappointing, because I love, like, the Insane Asylum one. I love the one where they're, like, out at the house or whatever it is. And that kind of jazz. So, I don't know. But we are getting a lot of, like, more independent horror, you know? We're getting a lot of more games in, like, the independent sphere that are horror-based, which is interesting. And we're getting different genre takes on horror. Like, Inscription is technically a horror, but it's a card-based horror. And I'm a sucker for card games. Y'all know I always have my favorite game queued up depending on how much we talk on streams, which is an old GameCube card-based battle game. I love card games. I love Slay the Spire. I love Darkest Dungeon, all that kind of jazz. So I really liked Inscription because it was horror genre, but card games. And that was not really a thing that exists, right? So I really, really liked that. And I like these new categories and styles of games trying to push into genres they're not usually in. We had that, oh my god, it was probably a long time ago now. We had that a little bit with the visual novel territory with Doki Doki Literature Club. Because Doki Doki Literature Club was like, well, visual novels don't really do much in the horror territory. I'm gonna do it. And it was so cool and so excellent to see that style in horror. And then we got Inscription with the cards. And I'm just wondering what other styles they're gonna take and throw into genres. Speaking of video games, they don't have a release date on it, but Date Everything was announced, and I'm telling y'all right now, whenever it releases, I know I am not a video gamer, I am not a video game live streamer, we are playing it. Because Robbie Daymond, my Critical Role boy, and a lot of other voice actors that we look up to are in it and created it. And if we get the chance to date Robbie Daymond, we gotta do it. So we will be playing it whenever it released, but it doesn't even have a release date, so that won't be for a while. Alright, folks.
let's see what we're doing tonight. We are hitting midnight my time, so I gotta eat some food and go to bed. Let me see who is live on Twitch that we can raid. To anyone watching on YouTube, you won't be able to join the raid through YouTube, but we appreciate you being here. There's a reason I do restream and I stream to both, because I like all my audiences. So who do we want to raid to today? Who do we want to raid to today? Who are we going to raid to today? We have... Alright, what are people playing? Because I think those would be the cool people to raid to. We have folks playing Valorant, Teamfight, Elden Ring. Oh, we do have someone doing Dungeons and Dragons. That actually might be cool to roll to. It's Sloth's B-Day? Well, we have to raid the Sloth if it's his birthday, gal. I will absolutely do that. And you better tell him that you are the reason we're coming over. So, sloth_bag. Is that a capital B? Yes, it is. Alright, guys, we're gonna raid to Gal's friend. She mods from Slothbag. We've raided to him before. He's lovely, he's amazing, and it is his birthday. So if you're joining us on Twitch for the raid, let's go give him a little bit of love. Otherwise, if you guys are available, we have our Saturday activity streams. 7 p.m. on YouTube and Twitch. We are painting and drawing this weekend. I'll see you then. All right, y'all. Let's get this raid going. And we will hop on over. And then we're peacing out. Have a good night. Have a good night. I'm sorry, Newsbear. I just saw that you chatted, but have a good night. I'm sorry YouTube is behind. Goodbye, friends.